Morning, everyone. I'm Bondar JR, also known as the Silver Wolf, also simply known most days as Ron. We're here to stream some EVE Online. Sorry, I guess there's some confusion about the time. As mentioned, I moved the time up a half hour every 2 weeks, but we actually made this one we're in now 3 weeks since I missed 3 days last week. So didn't want to rob you guys. So I know the time movement has caused some problems for some people, Scimitar, Drachenhort, Legomaniax. So yeah, sorry about that. Unfortunately, Jackson was on early looking for me. So Steve's Haven. I guess Steve's sick. So if you're praying people, please pray for Steve's quick recovery. Get him back to streaming. Good streamer. Get him a shout out here once we get started. But yeah, so anyway, if you are here from Steve's, welcome. Welcome, Seth. Good to see you. I got my coffee. Thanks, Kim. Let's get a shout out for Steve's Haven. You picked it. Oh, he picked up a special souvenir Twitch. Yeah, that's one of those problems with those kind of events like that. So yeah, anyone who's in the stream or in the chat that wants an invite, if you're in the stream, join the in-game chat and send me a message, and I will get you an invite. But tonight is our mining event, where I mine with my viewers. Jackson is already out there, so we're going to warp to him. I have no idea where he's at. Knowing Jackson, he's probably not even in the same system, so we'll find out. We'll find out. And actually, I need to elevate Jackson to Wing Commander. All right. I'm going to warp to Jackson.
Warp drive
Figure out where he's at. If I'm mining, who's boosting my socks off? Jackson is boosting at least until he passes out. So I think he's already ahead of us, drinking wise. So, but yeah, I was anxious to do some boosting because I just got level 5 fleet, all that. So yeah, I was anxious to do some boosting, but Jackson got here early so he could boost. So good for him. All right. So once again, I'm going to put in the chat here, 10 minutes and a fireworks show. There you go. Yeah, we are in Ufine, which is in Galente space, high sec. So we don't normally have problems with gankers. Nice system with about 20 belts. Strength in numbers and all that. You bring whatever mining vessel you want. If you don't have a mining vessel, we also have some loaners we can provide. ChemFinn, good to see you. And we provide the boost, we provide the compression. Whatever you mine is yours to do with as you please. So yeah, so we provide this free of charge. Free of charge to anyone and everyone. So just love having everybody here together, getting everybody together, bringing the community together. So always a good thing. So, all right. Too sexy for your hair. There you go. I have loaner barges. Yep. We also have loaner ventures if you're not into a barge yet. And we will even help you get to a barge. So, we're all about promoting our fellow man. Or woman. Sorry. That was not meant to be sexist in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't look like there's any boost on Jackson. Hauling ice right now. No worries, JKT. You're all good. We'll be here for 4 hours, so. So if things change, let us know. You're always welcome. ChemFinn, that goes for you as well. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. We do not discriminate in any way, shape, or form. Yep, we got him. Thanks, Jackson. No, makes sense. No reason to have him on while you're solo. I apologize. I am going to turn down the air conditioner. I turned up the air conditioner yesterday because it was... too cold in here. So now it's too warm in here. So I got to turn it down. So just need to leave it alone. But I never want Abigail to freeze. So... But yeah, they do this mining event every Monday night, American time, Tuesday morning if you're in the Philippines like me. You gotta be kidding me. I didn't unload my my ship like a noob. Yeah, we do it every Monday night except for a rare few where something happens. And even then, you guys can still do it. Just because I have a power outage, which is common here in the Philippines, I have a method for dealing with the power outage. Unfortunately, I have to know about it ahead of time because my my power backup only covers the stream for 4 hours and doesn't work really well if I use half of it up prior to the stream thinking that it's just a temporary power outage, which it was not. But yeah, so I did miss last week because of a power outage. So for some reason here, they tend to like to do the power outages on Tuesday, my time, Tuesday. So those of you who don't know, I'm a retired American from Kansas City. Retired. My wife of 20 years lived with me in America for almost just short of 20 years. Retired with me, and we moved to the Philippines for our retirement. We've been here 6 months. So now I'm on the other side of the world. Loving every minute of it. So loving every minute of it. So definitely recommend it. Jackson stole my orca. Yeah. Jackson definitely stole your spot. Definitely stole your spot. But appreciate all of you being here. If you can, say something in the chat so I know you're there, so I can say hello and thank you for being here. If you're here from Steve's, we're praying for Steve's fast recovery. Since Twitch gave him more than just enjoyment, they actually made him sick. So, Ming, good to see you. JKT, saw you earlier. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I stream every day Philippine time, Monday through Friday, which is Sunday night through Thursday night, American time. Current time schedule is 8:30. You're awesome! Thanks for the subscription, Ming. The current schedule is 8:30 p.m. Eastern to 12:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Eastern. But every 2 weeks I move it up about a half an hour. You're awesome! So, JKT, thanks for the subscription. Or actually, Jackson, thanks for the gifts. Thanks for the gift sub, buddy. Jackson's back in rare form, so appreciate it. Jackson is one of our primary supporters of the stream, so we appreciate him. Corp mate, Marine, living in the Philippines. Excellent, excellent. Whereabouts in the Philippines? Are you at Subic Bay? Actually, I think they closed Subic Bay, but they're talking about reopening it.
The asteroid is depleted.
Yeah, always enjoy meeting my viewers. So yeah, if you're here in the Philippines, I will definitely make a trip to meet you. Definitely make a trip to meet you. That's the least I can do. I didn't take a trip to meet enough of my viewers when I was still back in America, which I don't have regrets. We talked about that on stream before, but it is one that I wish I had done more of, since I have no plans to return to America. So I have no plans to return to America. Yeah, you're already at Hype Train level 4. Way to go. Member of your corp cult. You did say corp mate. I reread that. No, makes sense. We do have, especially now, we have quite a few military stationed here in the Philippines to help.
Thanks for the dono.
Thanks for the donation, Jackson, to help with the Chinese aggression that the Philippines is currently suffering. They like to pick on the little Filipinos, but they don't want to pick on they won't pick on the Americans, praise God. So that's to spank your wife with. Wow, you are definitely in a good mood. That'll get her a new pair of shoes. So, especially here. She loves to plex, yeah. She loves to plex. She doesn't even know what plex is. Tiger Claw, good to see ya.
Booting. Booting. All systems online. How are you today, boss?
We're doing great. Thanks for being here, Tiger Claw. Congrats on fulfilling your retirement plan. Thanks, Ming. I have promised her way back when I brought her over to America back in 2007. 2007, yeah, 2007. I promised her we would come home every 2 years.
You're awesome.
So she could see her mom, who passed about 5-6 years ago, and then I told her if and when we retire, we would retire to the Philippines, and I just never thought it would actually happen. So praise God, we've been very blessed. I was able to retire at 57. Come back to this beautiful tropical paradise where the cost of living is about 1/5 of what it is in the Philippines. And actually, JKT, it did. I'm sure I have it on. Just to show you. JKT had actually donated the black glass net intrusion one. Thanks for that, buddy. Actually, it's funny though. I had this clone stored in a player-owned station, and it got destroyed when the player-owned station decided not to replace its fuel.
Thanks for the dono.
And so I ended up having to buy another one. But yeah, you got me so addicted to it that I couldn't deal without it, so I ended up buying it. So thanks for that. Yeah, excellent implant. Excellent implant. Thanks again for that. Jackson, thanks again for the donations. You better calm down. You gotta pace yourself. You won't last a whole 4 hours. I tried. No, you did fantastic, Jackson. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I've been meaning to check and see when your subscription runs out so I could actually give you one, but Bezos ruined your streak. Yeah. Yeah. But you beat me to it today. You beat me to it today. There's Seth with his watch streak. I actually got warned, Seth, that you and one other were about to ruin their watch streak, and then I needed to reach out to you. So that just happened to me with blinged out Hulk Max set up in ice fields. Yep. Mine is good till January, Bond. Good job, Jackson. Good job. That's why I can never find yours, so that I can actually gift you a sub. So Twitch actually made something where I can actually use my proceeds to give back to the community, which is really nice. So that was one thing I always had problems, was I could never seem to get the PayPal working to be able to gift subs to people on my own damn channel, which was really kind of a problem. So you got a discount a few months ago and said, what the yep. Might as well. Might as well. Bezos gets his cut, so we got to keep him. Actually, we got to keep his wife in her surgeries. Because that woman was a very attractive woman. I don't know why she went under the knife, but now, not so much. I really don't understand the whole surgery thing. Don't understand it. Your smexy voice is worth it. Well, thanks for that. I do get a lot of that. That's one I wanted to bring up. So, yeah, so I've been getting a ton more views on YouTube. So if you're watching me on YouTube, I appreciate you. Thanks for your support. Unfortunately, I'm also getting people that are disliking my videos on YouTube, and which is perfectly fine. I appreciate you being honest. But if you're going to dislike my video on YouTube or Twitch or wherever, please leave me a comment telling me why, so that I can improve. I would definitely appreciate that. So I know I can't make everyone happy, but it helps to know why you disapproved, so, or disliked. So yeah, appreciate that. But yeah, I'm getting a lot more viewers. I think I went from 10 viewers per video to recently it's been up over almost 200 per video. So it's been really nice. So, been really nice. That's not a Bezos thing. YouTube is owned by Google, so that's a whole different thing. So. But yeah, Bezos just got married, so I think he's got to take care of that wife. So, got insomnia turned into Bond. Yeah, I've been told that. My voice will lure you to sleep. So yeah, most of you are probably in America, so late night for you guys. So be careful you don't fall asleep at the wheel. I do not recommend sleeping and mining. It can be bad for your clone's health. I've lost many a clone, many a Hulk, sleeping and mining. But if you're out here mining with us, we usually do fleet warp, so we'll at least drag you along with us, so you won't be sitting still. So, oh, music, thanks, Scimitar. Yeah, Jackson was rushing me this morning and got me all gummed up. Got me all gummed up. What's going on there? I'm pretty sure that's not one I added.
The asteroid is depleted.
Oh well. You read that. I missed what you're talking about there, Scimitar. Sorry. Oh, yeah, Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, so I have the Lego. What's up, buddy? I have the Discord on my phones, and I have it on both my phones, my American phone and my Filipino phone. So when someone spams the Discord, it gives alert after alert after alert in duplicate to where it wakes me up. So if you ever want to wake me up, just spam the Discord, and it'll take care of it. Now, so yeah, so Jackson ended up waking me up, which was good because I needed to get up and get a shower. It's not easy looking this beautiful for you guys every day, so it does take a lot of work, a lot of soap. Sorry, couldn't resist that one. And a lot of coffee. So, damn it, it wasn't me. Yeah, It definitely was you, Lego. Or, excuse me, Jackson. Not Lego. Sorry, Lego. I was looking at your name. You woke me up to satisfy the men. No, the missus is still asleep. And waking her up would not be a positive. That woman loves her sleep. God bless her. I can't blame her. Most of it is because she doesn't go to bed till 1 or 2 in the morning. So, but yeah, waking her up would definitely have the opposite effect. Yeah, the puppy dog is laying with her. I did take the dog outside so that she could go to the bathroom so she wouldn't bother her mom, because that would also get me in trouble. She wakes up mom because she's got to go to the bathroom. So, but yeah, those of you that are married understand there's a precarious balance between, you know, what makes the wife happy and what sets the wife off. So even retired. Actually, it's funny because I'm surprised because the balance seems to actually be a little more sensitive since we've retired than it was before we were retired. So, where I'm the exact opposite. We were talking about that yesterday. I have mellowed drastically since retiring. And I think the country helped. It is impossible to it's not impossible, but it's difficult to get frustrated here in the Philippines because nobody really cares. If you act like a typical American and scream your head off and carry on, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. There's a joke about that. So the wife wakes up and the husband's not in bed with her. And so she wanders downstairs and the husband's sitting at the dining room table with his head in his hands. And he's kind of like, and she says, honey, what's wrong? And he said, do you remember our first date? And she said, yeah. He said, do you remember when your dad caught us in the back of the car, you know, carrying on? And she said, yeah. And he said, do you remember what he said to me? And she said, no. He said, he told me that I could marry you or he would send me to prison for the next 20 years. And she's like, I can't believe you remember that. And he says, yeah, I would have got out of prison today. I would have got out of prison today. I made the wrong choice. Should have taken the prison sentence. At least it ends. Not that I condone prison. Inmates are human beings too. But I was married once before. My Filipino wife is my second wife. My first wife, I refer to her affectionately as Satan. And some of the people on the stream have heard that one before. And yeah, I would have probably preferred a death sentence. So yeah. Or at least a prison sentence, because it would have ended. So get out on good behavior with a prison sentence. I can't complain. She gave me 2 beautiful children. One of which whose life she's ruining now, but and I would have probably never divorced her because I didn't believe in divorce, but she demanded a divorce, so I got freed inadvertently and was able to improve my life 1,000-fold. So I have a serious case of roids tonight. Yeah, I bet you do. So for those of you that think life doesn't get better, I'm proof that it can. Not only get better, improve drastically. Improve drastically. So, but yeah, I've told that story multiple times on the stream, so. Except for Starlink. Yeah, no, Starlink's not bad. They're still charging me double the price for half the service, which I don't get, but it works. Yesterday we had a cutout, but that was, I think, because we got over 1.5 inches of rain in 10 minutes. So it literally downpoured to the point where I guess the signal couldn't get to the satellite. So, but it was only out for like 2 or 3 minutes. So, but yeah, we did have a deck. They are bending you over, yeah. No, Elon Musk has Starlink, but they say that here in I'm not in Manila. I am south of Manila, but I'm close enough. Manila's about 2.5 hours away. I'm close enough to Manila to be still considered in the Manila area. And they are sold out in Manila. So the only way to get service in this area is to do the roaming service, which is twice as much for half the speed. And so, so I pay roughly about $100 a month for my Starlink, which is okay. And it works 99% of the time, unless it's really pouring down rain, like yesterday. So, Musk and Bezos are brothers. I don't know that they would agree to that one. Yeah, I don't think they'll agree to that one. They're both billionaires, but I was thinking of you as I walked past the Starlink kit in Walmart yesterday. Yep.
The asteroid is
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble getting the kit. And then when I finally got the kit here, they shafted me by saying, hey, you can't sign up for residential service even though you got a residential kit. And I'm like, what? And the guy at the store was like, yeah, they'll tell you that, but after a month, they'll put you in the residential plan. Well, we've been here 6 months now, and I'm still paying the roaming service. I have a deposit
Thank you.
down to get added to residential when it becomes available, which I don't think it'll ever become available. Thanks, Girl Pilot, for the follow and the stretch. I can always use stretches. Oh, there was another apology I wanted to make to you guys. So I noticed when I was looking through my streams that I wore the same shirt yesterday that I wore last Friday. So I apologize. I did do laundry between yesterday and last Friday, which was why the shirt was available again. But I apologize. I don't normally do that. I usually try to keep it a little bit different, so. But yeah, I even noticed that when I was looking yesterday, when I was answering some comments on YouTube. I'm like, hey, that's the same shirt. Yeah. Which was kind of a backfire to having the wife do the laundry. And somehow it got back on top. That's not unusual. All those MMOs, you see all those women characters, most of them are men. It's a proven fact that
You're awesome.
people give more things to a female character than they do to a male character. So, Jackson, thanks for the gift sub. Sandy's one of those that, yeah, they can go either way. So, boy or girl, you know, like Alex. Could be Alexandra or Alexander. I always like the name Alex.
the asteroid is depleted.
Oh. But yeah, I apologize for wearing the same shirt. That I usually don't do that. So that was completely unintentional. Man, these asteroids are disappearing quick. What else? What else? So yeah, we're praying for Steve's Haven. Hopefully he'll be feeling better soon. Picked up something from TwitchCon. Awesome that he was able to go to TwitchCon. If you guys are not following Steve's Haven, please give him a follow. Awesome streamer, does a lot of giveaways, so another good way for a new player to kind of get a leg up. And also a lot of viewers that can give advice. So excellent streamer, excellent streamer. Are drops working? My bar isn't moving. Drops are working, but I do not know what the current drop is. I already got the Evermarks, so I already got the Evermark, so I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any current drop that I have for Eve. The last one was the Evermarks. It says I got it 19 hours ago, so. I missed two. Looks like I missed the Griffin and the Skybreaker, which sucks. But I am stuck at 55%. It is the Evermark. So yeah, the Evermark should be going. Yeah, it should. It should keep going. It's only Tuesday my time, so maybe refresh the stream, see if that works. I did get the Evermarks yesterday when I was watching somebody else, so. And I did finish my fleet command yesterday, so I was anxious to do some compressing or some boosting to see how much of a difference it made, but we'll do that another night. Or we'll do that when Jackson falls asleep. You got the Skybreaker, yep. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it looks like I missed the Skybreaker and the Griffin, so I only caught one of the tournament days.
The asteroid is
There you go.
depleted.
There you go. Yeah, sometimes I have to refresh or wait till it, sometimes I have to wait till they raid out to somebody else. So I don't know how you guys get that stuff. So on Twitch, you can set up your account. If you tie your Eve account to Twitch, it will then give you drops when you watch players that have drops enabled. So, like myself. So, and I'd done it so long ago, I don't remember exactly how to enable your account, your Eve account. Plus, you've got like 17 accounts. You just got to pick one. It only lets you do one. But I have my main account linked. But yeah, it's something in the Twitch configuration. And you can also do it for other games as well. So I have my No Man's Sky linked. I think I just linked my Steam. And because I linked my Steam, any game that I play in Steam that there are drops for, when I watch people doing drops, it'll provide drops. So it is kind of a nice little feature from Twitch, which Twitch doesn't do a whole lot of really nice things. So you definitely got to take advantage of any of them that you can find. I screwed that all up years ago. Yeah. 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 Yeah, the multiple counts, I've never figured out how to do multiple counts on the Twitch. I think you have to have multiple Twitch IDs, which I have enough trouble keeping one. Do you have a cheater code for EVE Online Store? I do not. I think it's called a creator code. Which is what you said. Sorry, I read cheater code, but I do not. But if you do mothership on both EVE Online Store and or Marquee Dragon, it will give to Team Mothership and Anarckos. So that's the one I use. No, that's fine. I'm in it for the community, not for the benefits. So I usually make enough off of Twitch to cover my internet. Most months. Some months not so much. Other months I've had where it actually paid for more than that, and then I usually try to give that back to the community. So all the donations I receive in Eve. Xurdaben gave 100 million the other day. I give back to the community. So we did a marbles race the other day where we gave the 100 million away. So yeah. So if you guys do want to do donations, you can send them to my main, and I will give all those back to the community. Unless it's something you directly intend for me, as JKT gave an implant specifically for me for scanning. And so I did use it. So yeah, specify in there. Al, what's up, buddy? I do need to figure out the those hulks for you, Scimitar. No worries, no worries. Yeah, it's always nice to have stuff to give away.
The asteroid is depleted.
I don't do as many. I don't want it to be a giveaway stream, but I do want to give back to my community. So you guys are awesome. So definitely want to reward that. Eating dinner. Yep, between all my accounts, I have a crap ton of skin stuff. Yeah, I've got that too. And actually, Khaleesi Rose, I just heard from her that she's building skins. So I'm probably gonna, if none of you want to dabble in skins, if anybody watching now or watching in the future wants to dabble in skins, let me know, and I will donate all my skin creation stuff to you guys. I don't have a creative bone in my body, so I'm not going to do any skin stuff, but I do give those. But yeah, most of it is creation stuff. I was going to give it to Caldari Prime, and he said he actually doesn't use that stuff. He does it freehand. So yeah, her name's Khaleesi Elisi, and actually, let me give her a shout out. I think that's it. Yep. But yeah, she's a great one. But yeah, she supposedly she said that she does build skins, so yeah, it's hard to find anybody who builds skins and actually uses the skin stuff. So, like I said, Caldari Prime was who I was primarily focusing on. And he said he does build them. Yes, we are. Girl Pilot, we're out in Ufine, which is in Galente space. You're welcome to join us. Tonight is viewer mining event night. So we do this every Monday night, where I mine with my viewers. Yeah, it's in high sec in Galente space. So, yep, Ufine. I just put it in there. If you get in the in-game channel, I can give you a link. All right, let me add Al's out here. I'm gonna invite him to the fleet. Said he's already in a fleet. All right, cool. Yeah, if you want to get in the in-game channel, I can send you, we can get you an invite and get you a more precise location, but chat doesn't allow us to do another one. Yes, Jackson, you can request anything, and barring anything illegal, I'll be sure to do it. You send your Skinner stuff to Touch and Shuv. Okay, I can do that. That's not a problem. I got a ton of Skinner stuff. OUCHNSHUV. All right, I will do that. She has plenty of support and is no worries. Oh yeah, Rose, I know she does. Yeah, I just couldn't find anybody else that used it, so that's why I was considering her. So yeah, no problem. No problem. Thanks, Jackson. He does custom stuff for you, even better. Yeah, we had Kickin. Kickin used to do them, and so wasn't it Fleet earlier? Do some riffs. I'm out of it now. Okay, Al. All right, sent you a new invite. No worries, no worries. Yeah, I'm always looking for somebody to donate my stuff to. So I collect a lot of it with doing missions and just everything in Eve. And Eve's really tried to promote it, but they promote it and it's super expensive. Cost you plex to make them, cost you plex to buy them, cost you plex to, yeah, it's just ridiculous. And so I understand why most people don't mess with it, but thanks, Girl Pilot. I have a lot of Halloween skins from him to use this year. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. They do not celebrate Halloween here in the Philippines. November 1st is All Saints Day, and it's when we go to visit deceased family members, visit their graves. And so my mother-in-law mentioned earlier, passed about 5 or 6 years ago. And so I have not been to her grave yet since we've been here. So we're planning, I think, Thursday. So I'm going to have to cancel Thursday stream. But Thursday my time, Wednesday night. Thursday my time. So Wednesday night, you guys' time. So tomorrow night. Wow, I didn't realize that. Yep. So I'm from Canador. There you go. Canada. I'm from Canador. From Canada. Well, welcome from Canada. Welcome from Canada. But yeah, we're going to take care of a few errands. Hopefully meet with the engineer and visit Nanai's grave, which I have not been to yet. So, but yeah, too expensive. I was looking forward to Skinner, but haven't done it since it came out. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, they're just very, very expensive. Yeah, you can do it with this too, but yeah, that's even more expensive. So, Kickin is one of the guys in our corp. He hasn't been online in quite a while, but he was doing it. In fact, he made the skin that I'm sporting on this Hulk is a Kickin skin. It's called the Silver Wolf skin, and so yeah, Kickin made it. And yeah, I was providing everything to him, but he hasn't been actually playing very much lately. So real life got in the way. So as it does most times for people. So but yeah, so since he hasn't been on, I was looking for somebody else to get it. So yeah, so I will definitely send that to your buddy there, Jackson, and I will mention to him that that he recommended you. So, and if he wants to donate some skins for me to donate on the stream, that would be awesome. So, not required, but yeah, I just wanted to go to somebody who's actually going to use it. So, I'm playing too much. I need a life. Yeah, that's kind of what the wife tells me, but she's just happy it pays for the internet. She didn't want to pay for the internet, though. She enjoys the internet. So, I don't understand. Because the Starlink is definitely much faster than the standard internet here in the Philippines. Standard internet here in the Philippines is slow as molasses. So, back. Too much going on. Nope, I understand, Jackson. You're all good. You're all good. We're just glad you're here. We're just glad you're here. We're just glad you're here. Yeah, these asteroids are disappearing fast. Alright. You are awake. My friend just installed his, and the speed test was 300 down, 200 up. Yep. Yeah, which is better than mine. I've gotten up to 300. But most times I range around the 50. So it's always 20 up. Always 20 up. I think they somehow throttle it at 20 and they don't allow it to go higher than 20, which I don't quite understand. But yeah, the download fluctuates quite a bit. So at this time, I can get upwards of 200, sometimes up to 300. But at night, my time, so morning for you guys, it considers that prime time. And it drops down to, I'm lucky to get 50. So luckily, the streaming services for the television don't require that much, so it usually works out where you can still watch TV. So SniperKrizz, thanks for the raid. Open up! SniperKrizz, I guess I should spell it right. If you guys aren't following SniperKrizz, please give them a follow. Thanks for the raid, SniperKrizz, Subcap Pilot, Shikari. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the follow, Cyberlink. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, if you guys aren't following SniperKrizz. I keep wanting to say SuperKrizz. I'm thinking of you as SuperKrizz. SniperKrizz. Give them a follow. Thanks for the raid, buddy. Appreciate it. We are just doing a mine. Welcome, Raiders. We are just doing our weekly mining event. So every week we mine. I mine with my viewers. So every Monday night America time, Tuesday morning where I'm at in the Philippines, I mine with my viewers. And we are out here with a pretty good sized fleet. I think we got like 7 in the fleet. Everyone is welcome. You guys want to come out and join us, you're welcome. We are in Ufine. Grow that beard back. Yeah, the wife's not a beard fan, so, but I'm sure it will grow back because I hate to shave. So, shaving here, the only thing here is cold water. So shaving here is not a pleasant experience. If you guys have shaved with cold water, I think you understand. So if I wait till the afternoon and shave, sometimes the water will be hot from the sun, but not always. Especially during the rainy season. So yeah, so shaving cold shaves, not a good one. So not a good look. So plus it usually cuts the crap out of me. So but yeah, the beard will probably be back. Give it a couple weeks. Unfortunately, I have a horrible time growing a nice beard. So it won't be nice, but it'll probably be back until the wife then stands her ground and forces me to shave it again. So Booga, good to see you, buddy. As soon as the timer evolves, I'll get you a shout out. If you guys aren't following Booga, give Booga a follow. Booga's a Australian Eve streamer. Does an excellent job. Excellent job. He's right around downtime. If you guys are looking for somebody right around downtime, he's a great one. Great one. He streams before downtime, then does some giveaways during downtime, and then streams after downtime. So, Stoffel the Honey Badger, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. All right, cool. I had to wait for the timer. But yeah, good to see ya. So yeah, give Just working away, about to have lunch. There you go. There you go. Yep. See, breakfast for me, lunch for you. We're only a couple hours off. Not as bad as America. So I'm 12 hours from America. So it's 9:14 a.m. here.
You're awesome.
Which makes it 9:14 p.m. on the East Coast of America. So, Buka, thanks for the... Oh, Jackson, thanks for the gift sub. Yeah, appreciate you following Booga. Definitely follow. You're probably already following SniperKrizz. So, yeah, appreciate that. Oop. Yeah, these asteroids are disappearing faster than I can target them. Alright, so I'm going to target the rest of these. And I'm going to send Kragan on to the next belt. Where are we at? We are at 5-1. Alright, want to go up or down? Jackson, you started us. Where are we going? Tell me which one and I'll go scout it out. Get rid of the rats. Wait one. I have many BM set. Oh, you got a BM. You're too sophisticated. Yeah, you're too sophisticated. Setting up bookmarks. You did have a lot of time. You did have a lot of time. Yeah, normally I just go up one or down one. It's make it easy. Waiting on core to cycle down. Yeah, we still got a couple asteroids to get rid of here, so. The Scordite one is actually giving trouble. Oh, compression's off. Yeah, I'm going to fill up here in a second. If you want to do a fleet warp, Jackson, go ahead and do a fleet warp. Just make sure everybody's drones are in. Looks like everybody's drones are in. If we leave these last couple, it won't be a problem. Actually, I'm going to have Kragan pick this up. Ah, too far away. There's that. And there's that.
The asteroid is depleted.
On the last one. Alright, go ahead and fleet warp us. I'm good. You should be able to fleet warp, I think. 20 seconds. Oh, wait 20 seconds and then warp to you. Okay, cool. We can do that. So yeah, I'll do a fleet warp to Jackson here once he gets situated. I'll probably wait more than 20 seconds because it'll probably take longer than that. You are flying an Orca after all. Let me know when you get there. Yeah, let me know when you get there. And then I'll warp to you. That'll be easier. Jackson's getting all sophisticated on us, setting up bookmarks. Alright, so I'm gonna warp to fleet member. Here we go. Here we go. Hang on, everybody.
Warp drive active.
Hang on, everybody. We'll get to see the formation. Love the formation. Oh, well, nobody found the formation. Wow, there's a couple. There's a couple. There they are. Now they're coming into formation. There we go. I guess it doesn't do the formation right off the bat. Ads are getting ready to start. See, this is why I don't have you jump in here by yourself, Jackson, is because the rats are going to then attack the orca. We don't want the rats attacking the orca. Too expensive to repair. All right, we'll get rid of these rats. Now, let's see. Kragan. Yep, Kragan's here. Okay, cool. All right, bring him back. Bring him back. Jackson getting all sophisticated with bookmarks. My goodness. And really nice bookmarks too. Man, that's an awesome bookmark. Yeah, this is a decent belt. Thanks for that. I won't as much is true. Yeah, these are definitely decent ones. All right. That's an excellent bookmark. Excellent bookmark. Compression's up. Booster up. And like Flynn. No, that's an awesome bookmark. Awesome bookmark. Yeah, exactly. No scimitar. That's all right. Scimitar doesn't do bookmarks. He actually relies on me to scout out the next belt. So, actually, I shouldn't say that. He's got so many alts. A lot of times he scouts them out because I'm too busy flapping my gums. Because I'm too busy flapping my gums. So. All right. We're back in business. Back in business. Yeah, this one's a much nicer belt. Much nicer belt. Follow your lead. There you go. There you go. I don't know about that, but I don't know about that. The blind leading the blind, I think. You know, I just scouted because I had time. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry for the confusion about the starting stream. So yeah, so my wife and I, as I've said before, I shouldn't say former American, still American by birth. Lived in Kansas City for 30 years. Prior to that, lived on the East Coast. Grew up outside of Philadelphia. Lived in Maryland and Virginia for many years before finally moving to Kansas City roughly 30 years ago. Lived in Kansas City for 30 years. Worked for a company in Kansas City, small Midwestern bank, middle-sized Midwestern bank for 25 years. Retired from them in April. And my wife is from the Philippines, so moved to the Philippines and retired permanently in April. So we've been here retired 6 months. And of course, I'm talking during the ads, so that's probably not working. Of course, I don't know. I think Jackson subscribed to everybody, so. But yeah, so living here in the Philippines, retired at 57, which is kind of unheard of for an American. Loving every minute of it. Living the dream, so. But yeah, so, and now I I guess you could call it full-time. I stream 4 hours a day every weekday during my week, Sunday night through Thursday night for American time. I still do everything in American time since that's my home country. My moves are not for show. Yeah. As long as we show up at the Braille topless bar, I'm happy. There you go. Scouted ahead of time. Topless bar, yeah. Not a whole lot of topless bars here, so probably Halloween is when? Halloween is... Hold on, I gotta find a freaking calendar. That's one thing I do not have in my office is a calendar. I have a Philippines map. So yes, I will be streaming Halloween my time. It would be early. Actually, it'll be Thursday night you guys' time. So not technically Halloween your time. So, but I will not be streaming tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to visit, run some errands, meet with the engineer. So yeah. So anyway, that's where I was headed. So yeah, retired to the Philippines. We're now building my wife's dream home. We're supposed to break ground next month. So we're going to meet with the engineer tomorrow. We're going to visit my mother-in-law's resting place, final resting place, which I have not had a chance to visit since we got here. And here in the Philippines, they do not celebrate Halloween, but they do celebrate All Saints Day, which is Monday, which is November 1st. And the premise with that is that you go and visit your family members that have passed. So we're going to do that. We're going to do it early because on November 1st, the traffic is atrocious. So, but we have good music, Bond. I always have good music. Always have good music. Always have good music. Always have good music. But I'm not sure what's going on with my stuff now. Yeah, so it's not playing my playlist. That's what happened. All right, here we go. Oh, I know you're not a Barry fan, so yeah, it's not playing my playlist. Somehow that played some other playlist. I don't know why. Frickin' Spotify. I heard Michael Bolton. There's nothing wrong with Michael Bolton. He is the most famous song thief in the history of our generation. Only guy I know that can take somebody else's song and remake it and make more money than the original person made. So, yeah. It was good, yeah. It was obviously good enough that I didn't notice until just now. I was like, hey, I don't have that song on my list. I know, unfortunately, Jackson is not a Barry Manilow fan. When my father and mother got divorced when I was very young. And that's a whole long story. But I eventually ended up with my father. And he went through a Barry Manilow phase. And so Barry Manilow kind of stuck with me. So always makes me think of my father who passed over 10 years ago. So. Because Barry writes the songs that make the whole world sing. So. Can't go wrong with Barry. Through your eyes, I'm young again, even though I'm very old. I also apologize for the singing. The reason I didn't put music on my stream for so long was because I was afraid of being banned for my video on demand on both YouTube and Twitch. I managed to fix that so the music is not in the video on demand. But the other reason was because I sing along and I was afraid I would lose a lot of viewers because of my singing. And so I do sing along. And so far I haven't lost any viewers because, as far as I know, maybe they just stopped listening. So a real fine place to start. For me, it's for you, it's for you, it's for me. It's a worldwide symphony. Barry writes the songs that make the whole world sing. So Jim is just happy to be along. He is such a happy-go-lucky guy. I love him to death. Love him to death. So Skim, thanks for being here. Love him to death. And it doesn't hurt that he has like 27 accounts, so it always makes it look like our mining event is a huge success, even if it's just Skim and I. Even if it's just Skim and I, it looks like a huge success. I am music and I write the song. But yeah, once again, anybody in stream, great to meet you. Good to see you, Zinful. Like I said, anybody in stream that wants to join us, we are in Ufine, which is in Galente space. You join the in-game channel. We'll get you an invite, and all are welcome. We provide the boost, we provide the compression, whatever ore you mine is yours to do with as you please. We don't take donations, we don't charge. It's all completely free. We just do it
Thank you
for the community. So thanks, Shaw Stillmatic. Appreciate it. Shikari, good to see ya. Yeah, that IGN one works on almost all the Eve streamers have it installed, so on the way. Excellent, excellent. If you join that in-game channel, I can get you an invite. That way you can warp right to us once you get close. But the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Mining is a necessary evil in Eve, and it's always better with friends. So
You're awesome.
We always try to do it with friends. Always try to do it with friends. Jackson, thanks for the gift subs. Millen, thanks for the sub. Millen beat you to it. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I support the war effort. There you go. There you go. Thanks, Millen, for the subscription. Good to see you. Good to see you. Millen, I saw you were in... Oh, no, that was somebody else. I thought I saw you in the thing. There's Stillmatic. There's Stillmatic. Let me get you an invite. Could have got an invite. Stillmatic. All right. These asteroids are disappearing almost as fast as the other ones. Unfortunately, I am multi-boxing, so trying to keep track of both of them always causes problems. We are mining, so Millen, you're welcome to join us. We are in our usual spot of Ufine, so feel free to join us. That's always good. Not a problem, Stillmatic. Venture works. And what we'll do is if you continue mining with us, we'll make sure that you get upgraded. So when you have the skills for it, we will provide you with either a coveter or what's the other one? Retriever. Whichever one you prefer. So this one of the many services we provide. So yeah, no worries, Millen. I have those days as well. I have those days as well. Thanks, Jackson. Either that or you can just show up, Stillmatic. We have a loaner we can lend you. We definitely have ventures. It's up to you. If you like to provide yours, you can, like I said, and then once you get the skills, we will upgrade you free of charge. So, like to promote the mining. So, and especially with the new update coming on November 18th, seems they're kind of catering to the miners. So, it's the first time in a long while that's happened. So, we'll see. Yep, we have ventures and barges. Nope. Yeah. Once you get into Ufine, Stillmatic, let us know. And then you should be able, through the fleet, you should be able to warp to us. If you go in the fleet, you can select, Jackson's kind of our leader now. If you right click on him, I'm already at him, so I can't do it at the moment. So, and actually it's giving me something different. But yeah, you should be able to warp to us. Since I'm already there, it won't do that. But when in the fleet window, you can say warp to. I'm already with all these guys, so I can't warp to them. But I got Discord as well. So yep, that's out there. Guard 555, thanks for the posture check. If you're here, yeah, you can warp to me or warp to Jackson. Either one works. I didn't see you in local, so that's why I didn't think you were here. But yeah, you're not in local, so you got to be in local to warp to us. Yeah, so once you get to Ufine, then go ahead and then you can warp to us. But yeah, you can do, here, let me give you Ufine. There's Ufine. If you right click on that, you can do set destination, and that'll get you here. Sorry, we got rats. Anarckos. That's all right. Come on, Anarckos. I think we can handle 10. I think we can handle 10. 10 might be a stretch. If you guys aren't following Anarckos, Anarckos is the leader of Team Mothership. So definitely give him a follow. Excellent PvP streamer. If you guys are into PvP, excellent PvP streamer. Great guy to watch. Great guy to watch. Unfortunately, his schedule's a little random. So you got to just kind of follow him and then see when he's online. Because he pretty much streams all the time, anytime. Which is pretty awesome. Professional streamer. Not like myself. I'm fixing the schedule soon. There you go. Put you as squad leader. Can do that, Skim. Can do that. Oh, hold on. I gotta actually do it on the right character. I tell you, some days it's a wonder I can actually get out of bed. Oh, you're already there. Looks like Jackson promoted you. Okay, cool. Perfect, perfect. No worries, Stillmatic. You're always welcome. DLH, what's up? Good to see ya. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. DLH, we're out here mining if you want to join us. Someday you'll pay the price, I know. I've seen it before, it happens all the time. Closing the door, you leave the world behind. Digging for gold, you're going away. Fortune and feelings, but someday you'll pay. No worries, DLH. You're all good. You're all good. I'm actually moving my stream earlier, so yeah, so that might help out. Might help you out a little bit. So they did not start yet. We're gonna break ground next month. So yeah, so we're super excited about that. We did sell the second property, closed on it this weekend, deposited the check into the bank, but it has not cleared yet. So, but yeah, but that should cover our 30% down payment for the house build. So that's pretty good. So yeah, we're pretty excited. Pretty excited. The wife especially. She's planning a big party for the groundbreaking. So you guys are all invited. Unfortunately, the airline tickets are a little expensive, but other than that, we'll provide everything else. So yeah, we're they're messing around with our permits as usual. Money talks, bullshit walks. So I join a live stream. I may see what I can do out there. I do not have the Starlink out there. But we could probably relocate it for one day out there for that. So yeah, we may see about that. See how we could figure that out. It might have to be on YouTube. I don't know that Twitch will let me do it from out there, but they might. I've seen people do it on their phones and stuff, but I really need to get it. We will have a lechon. So yes, we will have a lechon, which is the roasted pig. We won't roast it there. We'll buy it pre-roasted. So we're in Ufine, Milan. Yep. Yeah, we'll do a roasted pig. So she's kind of already warned me about the cost. So I'm like, that's all right. Whatever makes her happy. Yeah, unfortunately the lechon is not cheap here, so but yeah, we'll have the whole family there, so yeah. You guys will get to see the whole family, and gonna be a big deal. The engineer will be there, probably quite a few of the crew that will be building our house. So I don't know if they'll have the bunkhouse set up by then. They're supposed to come out several days early and put in the electric poles. Here in the Philippines, you have to provide your own concrete pole for the electricity. The house will have solar when it's done, but we need electricity for the building process. And so we're putting in electric from the city. I don't really think it's from the city, but yeah, we're putting in the horrible infrastructure electric from there. And so, yeah, but you have to provide your own concrete pole that has to be built to their specifications, but you have to provide it. And so we're actually doing two. We're going to do one on the road, and then we have an access road that comes up to our place. We're, I don't know, 20, 30 yards off the main road. And so we will have solar when it's done, but yeah. And so we will have solar when it's done, but we will not have solar for the start. So there you go, Milan. I just got you the invite. Sorry for the lateness on that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. what I've started doing, Al, is I've started having people send to my sister-in-law's house in Manila, because that seems to take it. Because yeah, it seems so. I have a mailing service that I use for my American mail, and I actually had to send something to myself, and it took over 2 months for it to arrive to my house. In fact, to the point where the mailing service counted it as lost and offered to pay me the insurance on it, which I'm glad I didn't accept, because it did eventually show up. So, but yeah. But yeah, it did eventually show up. Is she single? No, she is not. I have quite a few nieces that are single. So, but I do not have any sister-in-laws that are single. Plus, my sister-in-laws are all in their 60s and above. So, yeah. Most people, most Americans at least, that come to the Philippines for a wife usually get someone a little younger. A little younger. It's very common here to see a 70-year-old American with an 18-year-old Filipina, which I do not condone. My wife is 2 years older than me, so I wanted to grow old with someone, not have someone take care of me when I got old. So, but we have had several friends that had a different situation. So, oop, wrong one. But yeah, it's fairly common for the Filipino wife to be significantly younger. So, yep. No. But yeah, I have quite a few nieces that are single. Philippines, the women outnumber the men. I think it's 5-1 now. So huge difference. So there are a lot of unwed females here. So, and most of them are smoking hot. Not all of them, but most of them. So now I'm afraid to show up. Yeah, we might get you married off again, Scimitar. I don't. You probably don't want that. You probably don't want that. That's all right. Getting married is completely optional. Yeah, completely optional. Completely optional. So that is. I know that's not for everyone. So on my way to Philippines. There you go. Anarckos, you're always welcome. I could have you married off just like that. Good looking guy that has a stable job and is productive. And you're like a super win for these women. Yeah, by shotgun, yeah. I'm trying to get Jackson out here to get him married off, but I really want him to marry one of my nieces. So he's booking a ticket right now. There you go. And she'd probably be willing to go back to Brazil with you, to be honest. They are very adventuresome. Like I said, my wife, actually I shouldn't say, she had been to Japan, but other than that, she'd never been out of the country and had no problem just jumping on a plane and coming to America and living with me. I was shocked. I was really shocked. She had met me, of course, and her family had met me, and so it wasn't a complete stranger danger thing, but yeah. And she lived in America for almost 20 years before we moved back to the Philippines. So I'd be there tomorrow if it wasn't buried by my mom and brother. I hear ya, Jackson. I hear ya. Well, I've always got a spot for you. And once the house is built, the house has a whole guest suite on it. So yeah, you'll pretty much have your own room. So I have seen some very nice homes in Japan I would like to own. Yeah, Japan is really nice. Japan is the cleanest place I have ever been. cleanest place I've ever been. Beautiful, beautiful. Unfortunately, the people are very depressed. It's all work, no play. And that was hard to see, but yeah, beautiful, beautiful place. But I think the Japanese government is trying to fix some of that. Japan has the highest suicide rate in the world, so. But yeah. Thinking of moving to the PH at some point. I love it. Cost of living is phenomenal. I pay roughly 1/5 what I paid in America to live. And I'm eating fresh food. I have fresh vegetables, fresh meat every day. There are a few things I can't get that I crave. Cheese is a big one. They're not a big cheese country, but I have found some ways to get cheese. Not the best cheese, but enough cheese to keep me from having withdrawals. As you can tell, I'm a big rat. So I love my cheese, and actually Abigail, my dog, loves the cheese too, which is not good for her either. But yeah, I did give up a lot of convenience, but in all honesty, I don't think that was a problem. I think from American point of view, convenience actually causes more stress. So cheese isn't too hard to make yourself if you have access to milk. We do have milk. Most of it's shipped in, I think, from Australia, which is close. But yeah, they do have milk, and so I use milk on my cereal and my oatmeal and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, somebody else mentioned that I could make cheese myself, and I haven't tried that. I may have to look into that. I think Al might have mentioned that. Because yeah, that sounds like something I could do. So those lacks are a business opportunity. Yep. Possibility. I am happy being retired and not doing anything, to be perfectly honest. I really am. Every time I think about that, that sounds a lot like work, and I don't want to work again. I was very afraid of not working because my job was so much of my life, and I am super excited that I have not had problems there. My worth was not really tied to it. So I'm so mad finding out that Tyler Lockett just signed with the Raiders to go back to Pete Carroll. Can't believe the Seahawks cut one of their best wide receivers. Yeah. You can make cheese and bacon and be, yep. Yeah, the bacon, I'm not sure. I think the dehydration process here would cost, the electricity to run the dehydration would probably cost me more than that. But with the solar power here pays for itself fairly quickly. And I think it's got like a 5-year turnaround. And so from that perspective, I might be able to do a solar setup that would help pay for it. But yeah, it's like Brazil, anarckos, very humid climate. So yeah, trying to dry meat or cure meat like bacon is not a common thing here. So I'm retarded at age 40. There you go. Trying to get him to be the taco king. Yeah, see, tacos. I can't get tacos here. Tacos is one that I have had some withdrawals. And, I make your own tacos, but, yeah. For fuck's sake, I'm retired. Yes. Retired at 57. So, sorry. No, that's not going with the convo. It's all good, Tiger Claw. You can. I have in my thing, ask me anything. So, have you seen the power bank walls Tesla puts in? I have. And I will probably have something similar. So, Millen is retired too. Excellent. Retired at 40. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Oh, I'm retarded. You mean retired? Well, excellent. Congratulations. Retired at 40. That's even better than I pulled off. So, way to go. Way to go. That's awesome. That is awesome. No, yeah, that is a little bit different. I have not had any issues with crime here. Any issues with crime. There's a lot of corruption here. So there is that. The government is fairly corrupt. You can pretty much get most of what you need by slipping somebody the equivalent of $20 from America. But crime-wise, I have not had any crime problems. Sometimes the corruption helps, sometimes not so much. Perfect example. Their Congress right now here in the Philippines is being investigated because they did several trillion pesos worth of projects for flood control. There's a lot of flooding in Manila and several other areas, and they did several projects for flood control. And they paid a bunch of contractors trillions and trillions of pesos. Peso is the local currency here, the Filipino peso, not the Mexican peso. And unfortunately, they didn't do a good job because the first rains came out for this year, and as soon as the rains came, just regular rains for the rainy season, they had massive flooding. And so now they're under extreme investigation on what did they do with that money, and of course they lined their pockets with it, pretty obvious. And so what, unfortunately, how that affects the general person is what that's done is now, because of that, they're going to have to redo these projects. Well, so the common man who sells building materials has decided, hey, since the government's going to have to actually buy a whole bunch of building materials now in order to cover their rear end, let's raise all the prices of building materials. So my wife and I are building a house, and all the building material prices skyrocketed because the Congress is corrupt. So kind of shot us in the foot, but it's all good. So I think we're still good for a little bit. Yeah, we still got quite a few here. Jackson. But yeah, natural disasters. They do, in America, you have natural disaster per region. So the East Coast has hurricanes and blizzards. The West Coast has earthquakes. The middle of the country, the Midwest, has tornadoes. Here, they pretty much have everything everywhere. So earthquakes, volcanoes, typhoons. And so, yeah, but where we are in Batangas, we are south of Manila. So we're in the province south of Manila called Batangas. And it is naturally protected from almost all of the natural disasters. Just nobody lives here. And so I've always asked my wife, how come nobody lives there? It's naturally protected from all the natural disasters. And she says, well, nobody lives there because nobody lives there. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Since it's naturally protected from the natural disasters, why do people not live there? And she said, well, nobody lives there. So, yeah, it's kind of a cyclical thing. So here they believe that, somebody's got to be there first. So I said, you know what? I'll be a trailblazer. Now, I am not the first person here. There are quite a few people that live here. But it's been funny because we had one typhoon in 6 months that came through, barely affected us. They've had, I think, 10 that have gone through the Philippines so far. There have been 3 earthquakes here in the past month. None of those affected us. Volcano erupted twice, I think, in the past month. Didn't affect us. So yeah, so we're really in good shape where we're at, and we're building in the same location, so very close. So made it back, picked up a Neris along the way. There you go. Everywhere. Corruption is everywhere, even in Belgium. Yep, I think that's true. Corruption is everywhere. So San Diego only felt a couple decent earthquakes, never had anything broken. That's good. Yep. But yeah, gotta love that logic. Right. My wife's like, so my wife is My perfect scenario is living on the shore of a lake where my closest neighbor is 50 miles away. Hers is the exact opposite. She does not believe in living somewhere where other people don't live. She likes to have people around her, though she's very claustrophobic, so we don't go to concerts because she's claustrophobic. So don't go in elevators because she's claustrophobic. But yeah. And so, yeah, I took her, one of our first anniversaries when we were in America, I took her to Arkansas to this this bed and breakfast that was on the shore of a lake. Actually, I think it was before there were Airbnbs, but it would have been considered an Airbnb. But we rented this cabin on a lake, nobody for miles, and she was so nervous she couldn't sleep. We had to leave after the first night. She was so nervous, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?" She's like, she likes to have people around, so that at least she knows everything's okay. So I'm moving up in Eve. I left my corp to join a Wormhurt corp and left me just say after joining, getting some ships inside there. I played for like an hour and got off my brain and been overloaded for the day. There you go. There you go. Had an earthquake 2 in Belgium last week. It's when I fell out of bed. Yep. Yeah. There's a huge, huge fault line that goes right through Manila. And it goes very close to my sister-in-law's house. So the plan is that they've been saying that it's 20 years overdue for having a shift. And so the plan is when it has its shift that everybody's going to move to my house, which is where I think that's when I'm going to be affected by the natural disaster, is when my in-law family all comes down and moves in with us. But that should be the only time I would be affected. So, but yeah, prior to retiring, I worked for a middle tier bank in the Kansas City area for about 20 years. I would think I was a month or 2 months short of my 20-year anniversary. Excuse me, 25-year anniversary. 25 years. So yeah. Unfortunately, my wife has 8 brothers and sisters. So the place we're renting is not very big. But yes, if something happens in Manila, we will probably be providing, because now that everybody's starting to realize, because I've told them, they're like, hey, you're right. This Batangas province doesn't have any natural disasters. Why aren't we living there? So yeah. So now they're all gonna, if there is a big earthquake in Manila, they're all gonna move down with us. So. But yeah, worse things could happen. I could live with that. Get your 15K spell. I didn't get my 15K spell points. Thanks for the reminder. I do need to get that. 3-6. All right. But yeah, I am loving it here. We've been here 6 months. And I am loving it here in the Philippines. Cost of living is fantastic. I'm living less than I had even planned. So that's even better. So like I said, about a fifth of what I had to live in America. So yes, huge benefit. So yeah, very happy. Like I said, I did give up a lot of convenience, but like I said, in some cases, that convenience, I think, is what causes so much stress in America. And so you start counting on that convenience, and then when it's not available, you start getting upset about it. And here, it's been great, because the Filipino people, I swear, are the greatest people in the world, because they have absolutely nothing. And they are happy, just happy as can be. It is proof that money does not buy happiness. It never did. But in America, I think we've convinced ourselves that if you're richer, you'll be happier. And in some cases, that works. Here, it's the exact opposite, where they're like, no. They just love living every day, and it's fantastic to see. It really is. It has been a huge godsend and a huge relief. So, but yeah, let me get my 15. I did not get my 15, so thanks for the reminder. Actually, I think I did get last week's. Yeah, I did get last week. So after today, after downtime tonight, will be next week's. So I did get last week's. So yeah. So I am good. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's not for everybody. I am definitely living in the province, so little things. If I need scotch tape or shoelaces, it's a 2-hour drive minimum for me to get it, depending on traffic. So you just got to plan ahead, which is not a problem. And that's what we do, is we plan ahead. We keep things in the house. So Temu, yeah, they do have Temu, though most of that comes from China. So they have something here called Shopee, which is kind of their Amazon equivalent. But there's a lot of scams on it, so sounds nice, but I don't know if I'd be able to pack up and leave everything I've ever known, especially with no tacos. Tacos is a big one. And so we've actually started making our own tacos, which has helped, but it is not solved that problem. I really am shocked that there are no Mexican restaurants here, because I thought Mexican restaurants were everywhere, but there probably are in Manila. Like I said, with us being in the province, it's a little different. And so, but yeah, don't Filipinos deliver at home? So, they do. Yeah, they don't really have a postal service. So yeah, that's where I talked about that earlier. I have a mail service in America to handle my American mail, because I got to keep my American mail. And I had it send, I had it send something to me here. Express mail, United States Postal Service mail, and it took over 2 months to get to my house, even though the service told me it would take 5 to 8 days. So, in fact, they gave up on it and were going to pay me the insurance on it, since I was smart enough to have it insured. I said, let's wait, and I'm glad I did. So we're down to the last couple, Jackson. But yeah, now, I used to send things to my wife prior to her being my wife, but she was living in Manila. So Manila is a little different. So what we've decided to do now is anything we have to have sent, we'll have sent to Manila. One of us usually goes back to Manila at least once a week. And so from that perspective, it's kind of one of those where, yeah, well, we have stuff shipped to her instead of having it shipped to us. Since we're in the province, it normally, when I used to ship her, I shipped her a card every day for a year, almost 2 years. I sent her a card every day, and she didn't get them every day, but she did receive every single one of them. She just usually got them in bunches. And so she would get 5 on Friday and, another 5 on Tuesday, that kind of thing. But she did receive them all. She didn't miss any of them. I had them numbered. That's why we were able to tell that. And when she went to immigration for her immigration interview, she carried the stack of cards I had sent her. So we had to prove we had a relationship. And so it was kind of funny. And then, of course, she also got upset with the guy because the guy wanted to take one to provide in our folder and our account, I guess. And she's like, I'm going to get that back, right? He's like, no. And she's like, you're not keeping it. I need that back. So he had to make a photocopy of it. So I think that was proof that we had a relationship. In fact, she still has all those cards to this day. So we've been married just short of 20 years. Actually, just short of 19 years. We're working on our 19th anniversary now. We've known each other for 20, so. I'm gonna shoot these out here and give them to Kragan. But yeah. Yeah, Jackson, if you want to head, we'll finish up this belt and then we'll meet you. I'll fleet warp us over to you once you get over there, so. Recently had my 20th anniversary with my husband. Excellent. Excellent. Congratulations. Yeah, so I am planning to try and do something special for our 20th, which will be not this coming May, but the following May. The house should be finished. And so I want to do something special for our 20th, but I haven't quite figured out what. So that is the ultimate dream, right? Knowing they are the one within the first year. Yeah, it was a huge. I was married before. I have 2 kids to a previous woman, an American woman, who was not the right person. Not even close. And we got married because she got pregnant, and which is very common. And I knew as soon as she gave birth to my daughter, my eldest, that I had made a horrible mistake. But I had gone through a divorce as a kid. My parents divorced when I was very young, 9, I think. And I didn't want to do that to my kids. So we were married for 13 years before she finally demanded. Actually, we were married 12 years before she demanded a divorce. It took us a year. Actually, it's probably about 11. It took us almost 2 years to get fully divorced because of taxes and that kind of stuff. So we ended up being married 13 years. And it's funny. I remember every day with her painfully. It was not a good marriage. But it was what I had, you know. It was my mistake, not my kid's mistake. And so I wanted to, you know, take care of that. And so, but with my current wife, oh, I'm too far away. Didn't think about that. Yeah, without the boost, we're too far away. All right, are you there, Jackson? Warp on down. All right, let's warp to Jackson. You guys all got your drones in? Yeah. Oh, no. Somebody's got their drones out. Pull your drones in, and I'll fleet warp us. All right, cool. We'll leave the rest of these. All right, let's warp to Jackson. Fleet warp to Jackson. Here we go. But yeah, yeah, it was a dark time. 3 kids with my ex. Kids are all very close. We are glad their mother is out of the picture. Yeah, unfortunately, my ex is not. So, my son lives with my ex. So my youngest. And she has convinced him that that he should kind of be her surrogate husband, which is kind of a whole weird situation, and he's going along with it. So yeah, so that's a little bit troublesome, but I'm sorry you never went through the dark. Yep, and that's it. That's it. Yeah, with my current wife, she is. I mean, she literally saved my life. Saved my life, and I cannot say that enough. She literally saved my life, and it's amazing because it's like I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for her. So it's amazing. This one was not such a good bookmark, Jackson. Not as good as the last one, but that's all right. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, it is creepy, Shikari, and I had thought that she'd be gone by now. She's 8 years older than me, and I had thought she'd be gone by now, and it wouldn't be a problem. And I'd have my son married off to a Filipina and fixed up by now. But unfortunately, she used to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day, and I thought that's why she wouldn't be around. But she stopped smoking. And so now her life expectancy has gone up drastically, and so yeah, which is kind of a pain. So, but you know, I don't wish any ill will on her. So, Yeah, we're too far away from the asteroids. We got to get closer. Even with your massive boost, we're too far away. Yep. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, even with your super boosts, I only get 34 range out of my retriever miners. And I'm 36 from the asteroids. So it's all good. It's all good. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, with my current wife, I mean, it has been fantastic. It night and day, night and day. I have trouble, like I said, I remember every day with the first wife painfully, but I literally, I don't know how it's been 20 years. We've known each other 20 years, and I have no idea how it's been 20 years. It has literally been amazing. Amazing. Thanks, Millen. Appreciate it. I'm happy, Jackson. Yeah, Scimitar's always happy. He's so damn happy-go-lucky. No, I mean, you did such an excellent job with that last bookmark. I would have thought this one would have been right on, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Falstaff, who has awesome skills, still has to move closer to the asteroids, so that's all good. It's all good. I would have had to move closer if we flew here my way, so it doesn't matter. Up, ship hold's full. I guess I should probably compress the stuff in my hold, huh? That might help. Hate when that happens. Hate when that happens. Alright. Stop. Alright, now we're back in business. Now we're back in business. Alright, you need to stop. Stop, 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 stop. Alright, now we're back in business. AFK 10, sig break. No worries. Please protect me from the Valdrone. We got it. We got it. We got it. We won't let anything happen to you. The rats. Damn rats. Damn rats. Jackson, you're all good. Like I said, nobody's ever done bookmarks for us before, so you're still winning. Still winning. That one just wasn't as good as the last one. That's all I was saying. All good. All good. All good. All good. I just died in your arms. Cutting through. Wow, 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 wow. Just flew out the station and hoped to transfer. Got sidetracked, re-entered fields. No worries, bud. JKT, you're all good. You're all good. I appreciate you guys being here. Didn't even fall asleep. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You are still awake, which is kind of since you started early, I was not expecting you to still be awake. So that is a positive. I glitched out, lol. Didn't say the full things, just said rats. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they don't work out quite the same way. And some of them don't really sound right. We were talking about that before. My wife and I watched that catfish, social catfish on YouTube. And they had some guy that thought that Aunt Jennifer Aniston wanted to be his girlfriend. And was he wasn't sending her money directly, but he was buying things that benefited her. And they said the way that he actually got convinced was she sent him a voicemail. And they said the voicemail was made by something similar to Tangia. They actually said that on the YouTube stream, which I was like, my wife's like, what's Tangia? I said, that's something I use in my stream. And so, yeah. It really sounded like her. But yeah, I said it wasn't Tangia, because most Tangia doesn't sound it. I didn't even fall asleep. So unfair. I'm sorry, Jackson. I'm not trying to be unfair. I compliment and I give positive and negative reinforcement. So sorry. You asked about the bookmarks, and the last bookmarks were spot on. Perfect. Unfortunately, the ones for this one were not. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So I was just letting you know. We'll see how the next ones are. So you're 50-50. Yeah, like I said, the fact that you made bookmarks is already way above. Way above. You did a fantastic job. Fantastic job. Bookmarks are above and beyond, buddy. Above and beyond. Above and beyond. I still haven't done my breakfast. I got my puto. Though it's got a purple tint because they made some purple puto. Puto. Yeah. She's on my list. And that's what I said. I said, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but if Jennifer Aniston private messaging me and telling me she wants me to be her boyfriend and she wants me to come to her birthday party, I'm pretty sure that was how they got him. I guess in order to go to her birthday party, he had to buy a ticket. And then he had to donate to her charity. And so that's where they got him, scammed him for money. And I'm like, sorry, if you want me to be your boyfriend, then I should be excluded from that crap. So, yeah, Jennifer Aniston. I am still drinking Seattle's Best. Going to me, yeah, exactly. That was what we discussed. Skimitar was, yeah. I tell you what, Jennifer, if you want me to believe that you want me to be your boyfriend, meet me at Waffle House. All right? If you come meet me at Waffle House, then I will be less skeptical. Yeah. Ming, yeah, she would never do that. She told me online yesterday, yeah. I mean, they had this other one. I mean, this woman, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but this woman was not attractive. Not attractive in the slightest. But she was convinced that Johnny Depp was in love with her. And that he needed her to send him money because of the Amber Heard trial, because he lost so much money in the Amber Heard trial. And even when the catfish team showed her that, no, the guy you're talking to is in Uganda, she still wouldn't believe them. Would not believe him. And no, I know Johnny's in love with me. I know Johnny's in love with me. And I'm like, you know, do you guys look in the mirror? I mean, I'm not an attractive guy, so I know Jennifer Aniston's not falling for me, you know, but come on. This is Johnny Depp. I mean, he had Amber Heard, for crying out loud. I mean, what makes you think he would be interested in you at all? And why would he need your money? And yeah, they get convinced. Aniston Waffle House hookup. There you go. Yeah, that's probably where she met Obama, you know, at the Waffle House. That's the other thing. I'm like, okay, so if Jennifer's sleeping with Obama, yeah, I don't think I have a chance. I really don't think I have a chance, you know? Yeah, Depp is an idiot. Depp is an idiot, but still, from that perspective, I mean, even with everything he lost to Amber Heard, you know, I don't think he needs this woman's, you know, couple $100. But yeah. These guys were scamming her for a couple $100 a month. They needed him to send her a couple $100 and in Apple gift cards, you know. Xurdaben, what's up, buddy? Yeah, people are too gullible. And that's part of it. The local brawl at the Waffle House. There you go. Yeah, you did, Shikari. So yeah, I worked for a mid-tier bank in the Kansas City region for 25 years. Just short of 25 years. I was like 2 months short of I think a month and 20 days short of my 25th anniversary with the bank. And they were actually pretty upset that I didn't hang around. And I was like, nope. This is when I'm pulling the trigger and I'm gone. And I have not looked back. I made a good living there, but they really didn't give a damn about me, as all American companies. I was a means to an end. And so, yeah, I was really afraid that I was going to have some depression problems because so much of my life was tied to my job. And I have not had any problems that way. I think a lot of that probably comes from the streaming. But yeah, 90%. Got to lighten the load. There you go. But yeah, corporate America is... No worries, Jackson. I need a waffle. We're sitting here talking about Waffle House and made Jackson hungry. Hate when that happens.
Is depleted.
Yeah, there you go. I had a Belgian waffle sandwich the other day. We were at the hospital. My wife was having some tests done. She wasn't feeling well, and she's fine. Thank you. But and we were eating at the hospital, and they had a Belgian waffle sandwich place there, and it was really good. Mining is good. Mining is good. You're welcome to join us. No worries, Shikari. Appreciate it. Actually, you'll probably get gifted one by Jackson. He pretty much gives everybody in the channel a subscription. He is by far my most financially supportive viewer. And so Jared I think, is my most dedicated viewer because he's in here most times before I even start to stream. And then Scimitar is probably my most supportive, so mentally. But yeah, I'm sure he probably will. In fact, you wait till he gets back. He's probably shocked he hasn't already. But yeah, mining's good, Xurdaben. We're actually in Eufene if you want to join us. We still got about 2 hours to go. I would love how I decided to move into Wormhole as soon as I get trained in Exhumers. There you go. There you go. Take the long way home, Supertramp. Jackson is very generous. In fact, I think that's what happened. Is he normally is very generous on Steve Haven stream. And I think since Steve canceled today, Steve is not feeling well, so definitely keep Steve in your prayers. He seems like he picked up something at EveCon. But yeah, so I think he's trying to double up here. So thanks for the watch stream, Xurdaben. I actually got told by Twitch today that I had 2 people that were about to lose their watch streak, and I needed to contact them. But of course, it didn't tell me who they were. So I'm like, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I want my viewers to do, is get harassed by me. Like, hey, a lot of things happened at TwitchCon. You're right. I'm debating because I was up so late. No worries, Xurdaben. We actually had a really long stream yesterday. I think we went almost 6 hours yesterday in order to finish the event. So, damn Twitch, yeah. Yeah, get on and watch me, yeah. Which will probably have the opposite effect of, why is this guy stalking me, you know? I think something's just going around because I'm starting to get sick. Yeah, here in the Philippines. So, last weekend we had a church. My wife and I's church here in the Philippines had its 47th anniversary. And so we went to it. And that's when my wife started not feeling well. And we started to go to the hospital. There's a hospital like literally a block from the hotel. And when we went to the hospital, they required masks, which makes sense. But they didn't provide masks. Yeah, there you go, Jackson. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the gift sub. And so, yeah, they didn't provide masks, but they required masks, which I thought was kind of okay. I mean, I guess it's good they didn't sell them, you know, because then they could probably, you know, double down. But anyway, we had to go to a 7-Eleven, which I have a lot of 7-Elevens here in the Philippines. We had to go to 7-Eleven and buy masks. And then once we bought the masks, my wife noticed that this private hospital was like packed. And she's like, why is it so busy? Because it's a private hospital. Private hospitals here in the Philippines are usually not that busy. And they told her that there's a major flu outbreak right now in the Philippines. And so then she was like, yeah, I don't think I'm feeling that bad. So we ended up going back to the room because she didn't want to catch the flu. Even though she felt bad, she didn't want to catch the flu from being at the hospital. So turns out the hospital was really nice. They actually had a nurse on staff 24/7 at the hospital. So they took her vitals, told her she was fine. Follow up with, she was having palpitations. And so told her to follow up with a cardiologist, which she did just last week. So yeah, it wasn't this past weekend. It was a weekend before we were at the anniversary. And medical is very much cheaper. So we went to the hospital, and she told him that she thought she was having a stroke. And the woman I assured her that she wasn't having a stroke. But the doctor there assured her that she wasn't having a stroke. But they said, you know, just to convince you, we'll go ahead and do an MRI. And my wife was like, MRIs are expensive. So they did an MRI, they did a full blood workup, they did a thyroid check, they did all this stuff. And our bill was like $1,000, $1,000 US. Which, my deductible for an MRI in America would not be $1,000. So, yeah. But yeah, I've never understood flu shots. I don't want to catch the flu, so let me get a shot for the flu. Yeah, they do say it kind of helps prevent some of it, but so yeah, so I can't say one way or the other. Most times getting the flu, and I think that's kind of where the flu shot comes in. Most times getting the flu makes you immune to it. So it's probably better to get it over with. But since my wife was already feeling bad, the last thing she wanted was to catch the flu. And since there's a major outbreak here, I guess they've actually closed a couple cities down in the Philippines because of a flu outbreak. So, but yeah. But yeah. I always get more sick with the flu shot than without. And I've had that experience too. So, but yeah, I'm not, and like I said, in those cases, it may be that I usually get it right after the shot, but then I don't get it the rest of the season. So it's almost like it gives it to you on purpose in order to build up your immunity. So there's something to be said for that. So, but yeah, like down hard for 3 days. Yep. But yeah, I can't say one way or the other. I am not a medical professional. So, but yeah, it But here in the Philippines, they don't actually, I don't think they do the flu shot, to be honest. So they just let everybody catch it. So did you close the Silver Wolves of Freedom chat? Because I don't see anyone in there. No, I didn't. I'm in there. And Jackson's been talking in there. You're talking about the Corp chat? Yeah, that one's always open. We just don't use it very often because most of the people that we're mining with and stuff are not part of the Corp. But with the numbers support, you will win with it. I am a medical fan and I go with the numbers. There you go. 16. Did you close the Silver Wolves? What's 16, Skimitar? No medical professional. I'm a software engineer. That's what I did. I'm a computer programmer by trade. So medical device company. I make them work. Don't understand the medical science. There you go. You don't have to, right? It's a good song. To know what I have is my farner. Lay it on the line. After the show. Make a secret rendezvous. Station 19. 16 people in chat. Okay. In the late night with Silver Wolves. Yeah. Yeah, 16 in there. Yeah, sometimes milling it actually close on you if you haven't been in it in a while. So you might need to reopen it again. Yeah, so I have the in-game channel, which is Late Night with Silver Wolf. And then I have the Corp channel, which is just a Corp channel. So yeah, but that's for the Silver Wolves of Freedom Corp. So what's up, Kimon? Good to see you, buddy.
The asteroid is depleted.
But yeah, you shouldn't have to reopen the Corp channel. That one should always be there. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Tacoma Fire Department. Way to go. I'm hot-blooded. I'm hot-blooded. But yeah. So what else? So yeah, so I'm loving retirement here. I am loving the Philippines. Don't get me wrong. There has been some frustrations. We've had a problem. So I'm trying to get my permanent residency here. My wife is going to sponsor me as a permanent resident. She's a dual citizen. She has her American citizenship and dual citizen with the Philippines. Because she was born here. She's had to pay a little bit extra money and get it back. And so she's going to sponsor me for my permanent residency here, which will keep me from having to go back and forth to immigration every, couple months. But in order to do that, they wanted to see our marriage certificate. So we got married in America. I brought her over as a fiance, married her in America, and then we filed our American marriage certificate with the Philippine government. So they translated it, not language-wise, but they transferred the American document to what they call a Philippine document for the Philippine Document Authority, whatever that is. And so I went to immigration and provided them with a marriage certificate. The way it works here in the Philippines is they do not have middle names. So their middle name is their mother's maiden name. So what they did in my case is they substituted my mother's maiden name for my middle name, causing my name to be different than my passport. So they were not able to take care of my permanent residency because the marriage certificate in the Philippines does not match my American passport. And we have literally spent 6 months trying to get that fixed. It's been a freaking nightmare. And so yeah, so it's not all roses and buttercups, but a lot of red tape. But yeah, Alpha Zine, good to see you, Sinvol. But yeah, so and that one we had to actually get the local municipality to file paperwork that had to be sent back to Chicago, which is where our marriage certificate was originally filed. And then Chicago has to work with the Philippine Document Authority to try and get it corrected. Shikari, thanks for the application. I'll get it approved here after the stream. And thanks for letting me know that was you. It's I'm going to get you added as a contact. It's always good because the names don't always match from Twitch to the Eve, so that's where it's always kind of challenging. So I appreciate that. That helps out drastically. Yeah, it's a zero tax corp, so yeah, welcome to the corp. I just broke out the block of tuna medium cheddar and some almond. Yeah, so trying to see Al trying to make me feel bad. I can't get any medium cheddar. Yeah. Well, how's everyone doing tonight? Drachenhort, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. By the way, I didn't get to see you yesterday. I did get to see Lego. But I'm a little PO'd with you, Drachenhort. A little upset with you. So, and yes, Jackson is still here. Jackson is still here and still awake and not completely slurring his typing. So Drachenhort suggested that I give Factorio a try, which I have tried in the past, and I was not a fan. But now that he suggested I give it another try, and I respect things he suggests, I have now given it another try, and because I actually figured out the rules of things, I am actually horribly addicted to the game now. So yeah. So thanks for that, Drac. Appreciate it. Probably gonna get me in big trouble with the wife because now I'm. Yeah, you said Factorio, and so now I'm addicted to it. So I did get very frustrated with it in the beginning, but once I figured out the rules of how things work, it seems like it all kind of clicked in place, and now I'm able to. So now I'm addicted. Yeah, that's what you get for listening to Drac. But yeah. So yeah, between you and Lego, you guys both were like, hey, yeah, you should give it a try. Another coffee game. There you go. Yeah, it is. And it was super frustrating. Super frustrating. I just could not figure things out. And now I got it. Yeah, it's cracked. And that's what he said. It's called Cracktorio for a reason. And yeah, and it is. I'm super addicted now. It's driving me crazy. No, I could have swore it was you, Lego. I'm sorry. I thought it was you. I knew there was a second one that had suggested it. I could have swore I saw it said you played it. Because I don't have a whole lot of you on my Steam. But I have you, Lego, because of our other stuff. I'm just playing the demo. I'm just playing the demo, so. Yeah, I don't know where I saw that. I'm sorry, Lego. I could have swore it said you played it. Satisfactory is very similar. Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet, so. Not bringing the addictions. Yeah, you probably are bringing some of them there, buddy. Don't kid yourself. Good God. These asteroids are disappearing faster than I can target them. But yeah, I am fully involved with it now. So thanks for that. Cractoria. Yeah, and I see why it's called that, because my God, I'm addicted. But I'm still doing the demo, so. All right, cool, Jackson. Well, I did get breakfast yesterday, and next time I checked the clock, it was dinner time. There, yeah. The wife was away yesterday for the whole day, and yeah, I was like, she's like, "Did you feed Abigail?" I'm like, "I think I did." Yeah, I'm like, I think I fed her. I had. I fed her before I started, but yeah. Once the stream was over, it was like, gotta get my fix. And I'm just doing the demo. Yeah, so yeah, I can't imagine what a real game looks like. I'm just doing the demo, for Christ's sake. Oop. I got way too many windows open. Each other on. Best mining general ever. There you go. There you go. We'll let you know, Jackson. We still got quite a few here. Though they are disappearing quick. Oop. Until you were there. Everywhere. Wait, what? I didn't do it. Or Admiral. Yeah, probably Admiral. That's one of my favorite ones from Star Trek, The Voyage Home, I think. When Chekhov falls and the doctor has to repair his brain. And they asked him, he said, name. He says, something Chekhov. I can't remember his first name. And he says, rank. He says, Admiral. He said, he's fine. Admiral. He's fine.
Asteroid is depleted.
Admiral. Chekhov. Pavel Chekhov. That's it. Pavel Chekhov. Pavel Chekhov. Voyage Home was a great flick. That was one of my favorites. The fuck? Yeah. It says those colorful metaphors, you're not using them right. The fuck I am.
The asteroid is depleted.
Yeah, he did too much LDS at Berkeley. Too much LDS? Too much LDS at Berkeley. Everywhere. Spock swearing, yeah. I'm a real Star Trek geek too. Yeah. A lot of my friends, they're Star Wars, and I'm not as big a Star Wars fan. Don't get me wrong, I like Star Wars, but it's a second to Star Trek. And And they get very upset with me because they're like, no, Star Wars is way better than Star Trek. And I'm like, yeah, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on this one. I mean, come on. I named my son after Patrick Stewart. Yeah, TNG is my favorite. TNG is definitely my favorite. It's so funny to watch them and see where they were, like, first season versus where they ended up. Because, man, they really were horrible in that first season. They were really horrible that first season. But, yeah, but they really turned it around. Yeah, exactly. Star Wars, you're probably right. Actually, I saw Star Wars first, so I was not an original series guy. I never really watched the original series. Star Wars is way better than Star. I love me some Star Trek, but it's no Star Wars. See, I'm a Star Trek guy. Yeah, they did come to terms with the roles. Picard is a pro, yeah. My son contacted me. We've talked about this on stream, so I apologize. But my son contacted me years ago. I wanted to name my son James Bond. So my last name's Bond. I wanted to name my son James Bond. I want to name him James Terrence Bond, J.T. Bond. One of my college buddies was Terry. I wanted to name him after him. And so I wanted James Terrence Bond. And my first wife would not allow it. She said, oh, he'll be teased. And I said, what? And she said, yeah, he'll be teased. Unacceptable. So I named him Patrick James. And so he contacted me several years ago. That's probably been 15 years ago now or more. And he said, hey, Dad, Mom tells me you're responsible for my name. And I said, that's true. I said, but I'm responsible for your name because she wouldn't let me name you the first name I wanted. And so, but either way, I'm responsible for your name. He said, so why did you name me after a stupid starfish? And I said, what? And he said, yeah, the starfish on SpongeBob SquarePants is named Patrick. And I said, without missing a beat, I said, there wasn't any SpongeBob SquarePants when you were born. I said, come on. I said, you're named after the man who played the greatest starship captain in the Star Trek universe. I said, you're named after Patrick Stewart, who plays Jean-Luc Picard on Star Trek The Next Generation. And he went, oh, okay. That's about the most I get out of my son is one-word answers. But yeah. Paris was the Tom Cruise of Star Trek. There you go. There you go. He was the Tom Cruise of Star Trek. Yeah, Kim I always feel bad for because Kim never really got promoted. It was always Ensign. Ensign Kim. Ensign Kim. Ensign Kim. I'm like, come on, give the guy a promotion for Christ's sake. And the Doctor. Yeah, the Doctor expanding his horizons. But yeah. So once I told him that, he kind of calmed down and wasn't worried about being named after a stupid starfish anymore. But I'm like, and I told him, I said, but just so we're clear, your name was supposed to be James Bond. You could go by James Terrence Bond or J.T. Bond. I'd have been happy with either one. Crusher was the best Doctor. Yeah, I do like Crusher. She was my favorite. Cisco's a good one too. Cisco's probably my second. I have him above Kirk. Yeah, Cisco's on Deep Space Nine. Avery Brooks. He's a good one. I remember him from Spencer for Hire. So, yeah, I remember him from Spencer for Hire. Spencer. But yeah. So yeah, he calmed down once he realized he was named after somebody famous, not some stupid starfish. I'm like, it wasn't any SpongeBob SquarePants when you were born, for Christ's sake. You thought I named you after a freaking cartoon? That's the case, I would have named you Bugs Bunny, you know? Right out loud. George Jetson. Cisco was a great singer in the 2000s. I don't know that one. I don't know that one, Booga. We still got over an hour, probably an hour and a half. Are you going to make it? We still got over an hour and a half. Never could get in DS9. I enjoyed DS9 because it had Worf. So, Odo was good too. Core getting at each other. Yeah, that was always fun. Yeah, Deep Space Nine was okay. Deep Space Nine had a couple offshoots that were kind of weird, but yeah. They did a couple tangents that were really kind of controversial, I guess. You want my 5 inches? Whoa, 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 whoa. It's not that kind of stream. My guy was Quark. Yeah, I liked Quark. Quark could get anything done. Quark was the guy you went to when you need, you know, they say friends will help you move, but good friends will help you move a body. That was Quark. Quark was he'd help you move a body, you know? It cost you, but he'd help you. Garrick. Yeah, Garrick was always underrated. Yeah, the newer ones are too much social influence. Yeah, way too much social influence. Booga wants my stuff. You saw it here. All the time. I don't know what's going on between you and Booga. I don't know what's going on between you and Booga. I'm going to leave that alone. I hate the Pike movies, yeah. My cat just jumped on my bed and dove into my face. Like, love me? Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's cats. Cats don't pull any punches. More honest than they really probably need to be. Yeah, Discovery I really didn't get into. I did enjoy Picard. But I can't believe he kept doing it that late in life because he was in his 80s, for crying out loud. Which has got to be hard. Got to be hard. Being that old and trying to keep up with the young whippersnappers. Ugh. Good old Kragan's over here picking his nose again. Alright. Yeah, Picard was acceptable. Yeah. I'm wondering what they're going to do with the next BSG. Yeah, Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. Yeah, see, that was the thing. I was never into the original series until after I watched the others. And then I went back and watched the original series and enjoyed it more. But, so I definitely watched Star Wars first. I remember my brother, I only have one older brother, stepbrother. And he had read the Star Wars book and never saw the movie. And I remember us sitting there and he was like, the movie was on for like the 300th time. And he's like, what movie is this? And I said, what movie is this? And he said, yeah. I said, it's Star Wars. He's like, oh, I never saw it. I've only read the book. And I'm like, what? Like, there's a book? And so, yeah. So it was funny because he sat there just mesmerized by Star Wars, which I had seen literally probably 300 times. Yeah, Lady Starbuck. That was one that I was kind of controversial over. I wasn't sure how it worked out, but yeah, she really good. Yeah, there's a Star Wars book. I guess it originally was a book. Imagine that. Which I found out years later. Most movies start out as a book. Or at least back in the day they did. Not so much anymore.
The asteroid is depleted.
Nowadays, they just seem to go right to film. because it's so much easier, and that way they don't have to vet anything. All right, we're almost done with this one, Jackson. We're down to the last couple. Some people say happiness takes so very long to find. Let me compress, because you like to shut your stuff off really early. Me. Sing it, Barry. Cycling mod. There you go. Yes, I agree, Legoman. I love Star Trek, but wish they would have done more seasons of that. Yeah, I was a little leery of the captain on there because he had been in so many other series and they all failed. And so, but yeah, it was they really did a good job with it. I wish they had done more of that. Without you. Scott Bakula. Yep. Yeah, he had done so many other series that it was kind of like everybody else was kind of a nobody. You know, I never heard of Janeway, whatever her real name is, the woman who played Janeway. I had never heard of Picard, Patrick Stewart. Never heard of any of them before Star Trek. But Scott Bakula had done so many things that I was familiar with, and they had all failed. Yeah, not really failed, but they had all been canceled eventually, which I think everything gets canceled eventually. But yeah, and so I was like really worried that he was going to end up ruining Star Trek. So they canceled it before the end. Yeah. He never got home, which was the whole point. And I mean, it went on for, I don't know, 12 seasons, I think. So, but Quantum Leap was good. And he did a really good job with it. I mean, he was a great actor. He did a good job, but it was just one of those where I was like, I counted him kind of as a dilettante. And so I was like, is he really going to stick with it? And so, but yeah, Quantum Leap was good. I still watch it. I can get it on my Prime. So, Svengoolie late at night, I have not. But I have heard of it. I have heard of it. All right, compression's off. We'll finish up these last asteroids. Quantum Leap was great. Yeah, Quantum Leap was good, and I enjoyed it. But it was one of those where it was just kind of like, He had done so many things where all the others kind of Star Trek made them famous, and he was already famous. And so, late night horror, not as good as Elvira. Okay. Presidio. Yeah, I think it's called Presidio with Sean Connery. Yep. Yeah, Sean Connery was James Bond, so I that's where I always enjoyed him. My first wife was a big Sean Connery fan, and I remember Barbara Walters interviewed him, and she said, so, there's been a lot of domestic violence in your past, and, you've had the cops called on you several times, and blah, blah, blah. And he said, without missing a beat, he said, well, sometimes, Barbara, you just got to show them who's boss. And I turned to my first wife and said, still on your list? She's like, yeah, he still looks good. I don't give a damn what his views are on anything. And so, yeah. Okay, come on down. All right, everybody got your drones in? All right. Cool. We'll leave these last couple. We'll leave something for our friends. We'll leave something for our friends that come and mine all the belts out. All right, let's warp to Jackson. I'm going to fleet warp. Here we go. Hang on. Hang on. Form up. I love the fleet warp formation. I can never quite get it right though, because it always has. It's wherever you guys started out, it kind of puts you. JB for life until Daniel Craig. Yeah. Daniel Craig, he was okay. I got to give him credit. He was better than I expected. I really had a low bar for Daniel Craig because I just didn't envision him as James Bond. And then yeah, he turned out okay. Good belt and good bookmark, Jackson. Excellent bookmark. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. Good job. Good job. I ain't got to move. Man, you're the man. I don't care what these guys say about you. You're all right. You're all right. All right. Oh, let's start mining. Nope, that's not a mining target. Awesome sauce. Last movie was like a comedy. Yeah. Get mine in here. Excellent job, Jackson. Excellent job. Yeah, that is perfect. That is perfect. That is a perfect bookmark. Unfortunately, I know what I need to do. I gotta compress or we're gonna have trouble. My hole's already full. A weary head to rest. Uh-oh, is that Abigail? Is that Abigail? Yeah. That's Abigail and her mommy. You want to say hi? Okay. That was Mrs. Bond. What did I do? You did an excellent job, Jackson. Yeah, excellent job. Mrs. Bond is awake. Mrs. Bond is awake. Which it's only 11 o'clock here, so that is kind of a big surprise. But God bless her. God bless her. Abigail, you want to come say hi? You want to come say hi? Uh-oh, she's getting a drink. She's getting a drink. Mommy made her thirsty. Come here. Oh, come here. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh, my goodness. You're a big old chubba-wub. You're a big old chubba-wub. Hi, everyone. I'm Abigail. Yes. I'm Daddy's baby girl. Mwah. Sometimes you hear me on the stream because if Daddy leaves the room, I bark like there's no tomorrow. Yes, because I don't like to be by myself. No, I don't. But I don't like anybody else, so I'm antisocial. Saying, hi, Uncle Lego. Hi, Uncle Scimitar. Hi, Uncle Millen. Good to see ya. Hi, Uncle Al. I know there's Uncle Al. I knew Uncle Al would comment. Mwah. Uncle Al always comments. Huh. Yeah, she's my beauty. She's my beauty. Oh, there you go. Go lay down. She's happy to be in air conditioning. Mom always sits down in the hot. Abigail doesn't like the hot. Is a happy dog. Just a little happy dog. Yeah, she's not as little as she used to be. She's gained quite a bit of weight, which is not a good thing for the dachshund. But and no matter what I try, I can't get her mom to stop feeding her. She feeds her human food now, which is causing us problems because that's why she's getting fat. She refuses to eat dog food anymore. And I'm trying to get her back to dog food. Wait till she sees you drank all the coffee. Yeah, yeah. It's weird. My wife prefers instant coffee over brewed coffee. I don't know who she is. I don't know what's wrong with her. Uncle Al, her buddy and pal. Yeah, he is. I'm a cat person. Got a mean male rat scratcher. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I've never been a cat guy. My first wife had cats. And I got attached to them. But so I do understand the appeal. I call him Rat Cat. They are good for making sure you don't have any of those problems. Mine would take care of, they would take care of roaches, ants, mice, rats. I mean, they kept everything away. Where this one, these dogs, they don't do nothing. We had a mouse in Kansas City. Every once in a while in the spring, we would get mice and we'd have the exterminator come out and take care of it. But they would watch it. He would run across the floor and they would just sit there and watch it. Like, I'm like, seriously? I mean, I feed you every day. Come on. Earn your keep. Yeah, they were like, no, not chasing it. Not chasing it. Not my deal. Not my problem. Bow, 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 bow. Man, ton of rich plague, man. Excellent job, Jackson. Excellent job. Cats are amazing. Had 4 over the years. There you go. The love you get. Yeah. Yeah. Each one has a different personality. Yep. Yep. Same with the dogs. Now, Abigail, the breed has a kind of a tendency. The dog breed has a tendency. So, when I've had all males, dachshund-wise, Abigail's my first female. And her personality is so drastically different than all the boys. Just drastically different. Yeah. Damn, it wasn't me. It's always you, Jackson. Always you. Universal winner. Universal winner. I need to finish my breakfast. It's lunchtime. I haven't eaten my breakfast yet. You guys got me talking too much. Puto. It's not the one my niece makes, though.
Thank you.
Weird No Man, thanks for the follow. Like that name. Yeah, Factorio does do that to you. I think that was the one the other day. I had brought breakfast up playing Factorio over the weekend. I looked over and the ants were covering my breakfast. And I was kind of like,
Thank
what the
you.
hell? And when did they show up? General Coitus, it's good to see you. Thanks for the follow. I had a beautiful blue and red nose pit mix back when I was younger, but I had to get rid of him. He wouldn't stop going in the house, but yep. Yeah, that was Abigail. When I first saw her, she was one that the breeder that we went to for the dachshunds, they used her to breed.
The asteroid is
And when I first saw her, I fell in love with her. Just her coloring was so unique. I had never seen another one colored like her. I've seen some since, but But yeah, they said, oh, she's one of our breeders. So yeah, so no, she's not up for adoption, cash adoption, you know. And so I was like, okay. So we ended up getting Benedict and as a puppy. And then later on, she did not produce as well as they were hoping. So they put her up for cash adoption. And that's when I was able to get her the second time around. And so, yeah, we were super happy with her. The woman was very upset to have her go because she was like, she was a personal pet and they really loved her. But she's definitely she's more attached to females. And so, so very, very protective of my wife. She's with my wife. She will bark and snap at anybody that gets near my wife, including me. But when I have her, she's calmer because she knows Dad can take care of himself. I guess I don't know, and Dad feeds her. So, but yeah, it took her a long time to warm up to me. She's definitely more of a female-only dog, and so. But she did not like Benedict. She did not like Benedict being around. She did not like Benedict getting attention. she used to terrorize him. But yeah. So yeah, she's super happy that he's no longer with us. So she's the only dog now, which I've been contemplating. Probably after we finish the house, we probably will get another. And my wife is really missing Benedict even now. Still having a lot of crying nights where she wakes up crying because she dreamed about him. And so Benedict was her first pet ever. And so yeah, she was in her 50s when she had her first pet ever. And I knew the first one was going to be a problem. As the first one is always a problem. I still remember my first dog. 40 years ago. 40, probably, yeah. Probably 50 years ago now, to be honest. But yeah. And so, yeah, you always remember the first one. Like, you always remember your first love, you know? But yeah, she still has a lot of problem, but Samantha Puggle was an epic dog. Died cancer. Yep. Yeah, Benedict's been gone about 7 months. He died right before, well, we had to have him put to sleep. But he passed right before we left Kansas City. He came down with the PPV, the back problem that plagues the dachshunds. And they wanted 20 grand for the surgery.
The asteroid is depleted.
Which I didn't have a problem paying, but they gave him about a 60% chance of recovering. And I'm like, for 20 grand, I would expect a little bit better than that. But so yeah, so we had to make a tough decision. And she's still upset about that. I think she is angry with me because she feels I made the decision to have him put to sleep. And it was going to be a year recovery, so we would have had to push back our retirement. We would have had to push back everything, which I was okay doing. My problem was it wasn't really guaranteed, and I didn't want him to suffer. I had another dachshund that I had for 16 years, and I had a lot of trouble having him put down when he got sick at the end, when he just old age set in. And I kept him alive far longer than I probably should have for my benefit, because I didn't want the separation. And I swore I would never do that again. So yeah, Sammer was up, or just cared for her until she was suffering too much. Yeah, that's the way this was too. I mean, Benedict couldn't walk anymore. He was completely immobile. And so, yeah, and it was still a happy-go-lucky dog. Only thing he never got when he was with us was chocolate. And in the room where they, gave him the shot, they had a big old thing of Hershey Kisses. And I said, I'm assuming he can have these now. And she said, yeah, they're not going to hurt him now. And give him as many as he wants. And Benedict was heavy like me. And, which is why he developed a back problem. And so, which is why I'm trying to get Abigail's weight down. But yeah, he sucked down a ton of those Hershey Kisses because that was the only thing he had never had. He was spoiled rotten. He was a good dog. He was probably the best dog I've ever had. And that's saying a lot. I've had a lot of dogs. But yeah, I still miss him too, but I try to keep it together for her because yeah, she really misses him still. And I understand that. Like I said, the first one, you never forget the first one. And so I was always worried about that. When she suggested we get a dog, it had been 13 years since I had a dog before we got another one. Because of all our traveling and everything else, I was just like, are you really sure? And she was like, yeah, she knew how much I love dogs. And so, but yeah, I knew, it always ends the same. You always outlive them. And so yeah, so I just try to comfort her. But yeah, that makes it hard.
The asteroid is depleted.
I need to have you near me. Oh, there's the ads. Actually, I'm pretty sure all you guys are subscribed now, so probably shouldn't have any problem with the ads. Thanks to Jackson. Special thanks, Jackson. Axon Jackson. Appreciate you, buddy. Maybe he's actually fallen asleep on us now. He's been quiet for a second. Truly in love with you. Yeah, dogs are. Dogs are. And that's it. And so I've had people that are like, how do you be in the same room with them when you have them put down? I'm like, they dedicated their life to you. The least you can do is be with them at the end. And I say it's not easy, but it's not easy for anybody. But yeah, thanks, Jackson. Nope, he's still awake. So yeah, so I've been a big one for that. I told my wife, I said, you know what, I'll be in there with him. You don't have to. I know my wife can't even go to human funerals. So, but of course, after he was gone, she wanted to see him. And that caused a huge scene in the vet hospital. So, but yes, at least you can. And that was it. Be with them at the end. They were with you their whole life. And be with them at the end. And so, but yeah, there's a lot of people just drop them off and say, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't do it. So yeah, it's not easy, but it's the least you can do. Least you can do for everything they gave you. Oh, he was such a good dog. Such a good dog. So happy to see me every time I came home. Oh. We went to Hawaii for 2 weeks and he stayed with friends of ours. We had a cruise to Hawaii and oh my Lord, when I came home, he was like out of control. That was the thing. He was a fat dog, but he was the fastest dog I've ever seen. I mean, lightning fast, even for a heavy dog. But yeah, oh yeah, me too. I dropped my husband for a cat. Pets are worth gold. There you go. Must have lost too many pets as a child. Don't really get attached to pets anymore. Yeah, I still get attached. I wish I had that. I wish I did. I am a little bit, it doesn't affect me the same way anymore. And that's why I told her I'll be with him. And I can hold it together for her, but I catch myself thinking about him on many occasions where it's like, and we brought his remains with us, which was a whole nother situation. Trying to get the paperwork to be able to bring his remains with us was a whole nightmare. but my wife demanded that that we bring him with us, so, which is the first pet I've ever done that with. So yeah, he's actually in our bedroom, overlooks our bed, so God bless him. But yeah, he was such a mobile dog that once he couldn't move, it was miserable for him. And yeah, when his back went, it was just, and it was quick, very quick. I think it was 2 days from when he started limping till he couldn't walk, even with medication. Because I took him as soon as he started limping to say, hey, what's going on here? And they said, oh, it's probably his back. And I'm like, and they had diagnosed every one of the dachshunds. I think I've had 7 dachshunds. They had diagnosed every one of the dachshunds I've ever had with this PPV. And he was the first one that actually had it. And so I was skeptical. But I gave him the medication. Couldn't hurt. And yeah, he deteriorated. In 2 days, he went from limping to not being able to walk at all. Just being completely immobile. And yeah, that was just too rough. But yeah, anyway, not trying to depress everybody. So he is here with us. So he did make the trip to the Philippines in a different form. So he is still here with us. So, but yeah, I've been contemplating getting another dog because I'd really like to get Abigail used to having another dog. She is very antisocial with other dogs, and I really need to break her of that. And I'm thinking maybe a puppy might help because she was a breeder dog, so she was a mother, and so maybe so. Yeah, I still cry when I think about Benedict, so I understand. But yeah, I've been thinking maybe I should get a parrot because I heard they live like 50 years and I don't have 50 years left. So at least that way it'll outlive me. But knowing my luck, it would probably be a parrot that would swear. It would probably only repeat the words that I don't want it to repeat. There's a joke about that. Crook, a thief, goes into an apartment. Thief goes into an apartment and he's creeping around the apartment and he hears a voice, and the voice says, Samson is watching you. No, says Jesus is watching you. Says Jesus is watching you. And the guy's like, what the heck, you know? And so he kind of pauses and he waits and he doesn't hear anything. And so he goes back to, creeping around the apartment, and sure enough, he hears again, Jesus is watching you. And so he turns his flashlight on, he flashes around, and there's a parrot there. And he says to the parrot, he says, is that you saying that? And the parrot says, yeah. And he said, what's your name? And he said, my name is Moses. And he said, that's a stupid name. Who names a parrot Moses? And the parrot says, the same guy that named the Rottweiler Jesus. Yeah, sorry, parrot. Talking bird. He said, yeah, the parrot says, the same guy that named the Rottweiler Jesus. That Jesus is watching you. I always have trouble starting that one off because I can never remember how it starts. Jesus is watching you. Yeah, parrot, sorry. No more parents. Yeah, my parents are gone as well. My parents are gone as well, which is why we were able to move to the Philippines. So made it significantly easier. I didn't have that to worry about. So though mine went way too young. So you don't get it. So he tells him Jesus is watching him. So he's saying the Rottweiler's watching you. And the guy's trying to rob the place. And so he just thought, you know, it was the parrot was making a religious statement that Jesus is watching you, because Jesus is always watching. And so he didn't take it seriously until he told him, when he asked him his name, he said, who names a parrot Moses? He said, the same guy that named the Rottweiler Jesus. Jesus is watching you. I think we still got a little bit, Jackson. Yeah, we still got quite a bit here. We're good. You're almost done. No worries. If you want me, I can swap you out. Missed the robber part. Sorry. That was at the very beginning. Yeah, the guy's robbing the apartment. Sorry. Yeah, it doesn't help if you missed the first part. Sorry about that. Should have probably made that more clear. Yeah, the guy's robbing the apartment. So. Alright, looks like Jackson is done. So, Scimitar, do you want to swap out, or I can swap out? I've been wanting to try my stuff. If you know someone with a Rottweiler, break in there one night and you'll get it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That'll definitely fix it. Yep. Yeah, Jesus is watching you. Yep. All right, cool. All right, let me go back and grab my... I'm going to grab my orca.
Warp drive active.
Can't do that while warping? Of course I can. I can shut off anything while I'm warping. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a Rottweiler's tail. Jesus is watching. Rottweilers kind of got a bad rap because a lot of people trained them to be mean. And I don't think that's fair. That's not fair to the breed. You know, the breed, as Drachenhort said, breed is a pretty awesome breed.
Docking permission requested. Docking
I can make dachshunds mean if I treat them wrong. In fact, Abigail's a perfect example of when she's with her mom, she snaps at everybody, which is not appropriate. So yeah. But yeah, the Rottweilers have kind of gotten a bad rap because so many people trained them to be mean. They were the big fighting dogs, so they are very loving. Probably one of the most loving dogs I've ever met. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go. Jackson, thanks for your boost, buddy. You are awesome. You are awesome. Don't let anybody tell you different. Special thanks for Jackson for not only for all the gift subs that he gave, but for boosting us. Appreciate it. Excellent job, Jackson. Appreciate it. You are awesome. I will be there momentarily. I got the boost on already. So hopefully once I get there, that'll at least take care of the boost. Then I just got to turn the compression on. So tired. No, Jackson, we love you. We love you, Jackson. Appreciate you. Get some rest. You've had a busy day, so... If you need anything, let me know. Seriously, with everything going on, let me know. It's not a problem. I'm always here for you. Thanks for the gift subs, too, by the way. That was above and beyond. That was above and beyond. Alright, so the booster up. I don't know if you guys are getting them yet, because I'm still warping. This thing warps super slow. go. There we go. There's a ground, Monty. There's a ground. All right, compression's up. What do you mean? There it goes. I just tried to compress myself and it didn't compress. Now it's working. Though I'm not getting the boost yet. Why am I not getting the boost? For some reason, Kragan has not. There it goes. Now I'm getting the boost. All right. Yeah, my booster's still short of his. Well, what the? It must be there must be another implant that I need. Must be another implant I need in order to match Jackson. All right, where are we at? Since before the stream, appreciate you, man. Yeah, he was. He was actually there early. Blue Gray, good to see you, bud. Good to see you. You snuck in on me. You snuck in on me. I didn't see it come in. Yeah, Jackson was on early. In fact, he woke me up. I was like, why is my phone binging off? And the worst part is I have both my phones, my American phone and my Filipino phone. I have Discord loaded on them, so. But yeah, he was rallying the troops. Yeah, usually he watches Steve's Haven. And Steve was sick today, so Steve picked up something at TwitchCon and was not feeling well. So yeah, so that's why he was there. But yeah, he was here. He was here giving it his all ahead of time. So yeah, I got to give him credit. And he set up bookmarks in the sites. So yeah, he did a fantastic job. He did a fantastic job. Can't say enough good things about Jackson. And the poor guy, it's 11:30 p.m. his time. So since he's been going strong, he's probably exhausted. So I know nowadays I'm falling asleep usually before midnight. So yeah, he set up bookmarks so we would be the closest to the asteroids. And yeah, he went above and beyond. He went above and beyond. Yeah, I got to give him credit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but my range one is still not. Only 92%, which is weird because I got level 5. Doesn't seem like it gave me anything. It didn't seem to improve it any. Damn it. Freaking sucks. I've been back and forth between YouTube and selling junk in Jita. There you go. Are you using Mining Burst 2? Yes. Mining Foreman Burst 2. Actually, and I have 2 of them, which is kind of weird. Why do I have 2 of them? Oh, that's field enhancement, equipment preservation, mining later optimization. So the crystal that I have in, I think, is only a level 1. But I am using the Mining Foreman Burst 2 modules. Sounds like a good time for Google. There you go. Just play Factorio on the second monitor. There you go. Yeah, no. When I play Factorio, man, I'm super focused. It's like, it is literally like crack. I mean, it's, come on. And there's no real pause, which I don't like. Do you have the Mining Foreman Link implant? That's the one I thought I had, but it doesn't look like I do. I had it. Blossom had sold me one, and I think when I lost my clone, that's the one that I didn't buy back. That's the one I didn't buy back, so I probably need to buy that one back. Mining Foreman Link implant. Let me see if I can find that one. Oop, wrong one. Wrong one. Mining Foreman Link. No. Mining Foreman Mine Link. That's probably it. Oh. Yeah, Mining Foreman Mine Link. I think that's it. 48 million in Jita. Doesn't say if that's an implant or not. Yeah, there's some skills that improve it too. Fleet Command or Wing Command and such. Yeah, I have all those. I just did Fleet Command to level 5. That was one I just finished, literally, like, I think yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, that does seem quite cheap for an implant, so yeah, that's why I'm wondering if that's really the right one. Mining Foreman. Doesn't have it. There's the implants. Mine Link. Yeah, so it shows 61 million here. So yeah, so that's not too bad. Which makes sense. So yeah, it says 48 million in Jita. So and that is not the one. That is not the one that Blossom sold me. That is a different one. So yeah, so I need to pick that one up. So yeah, so that's what I'll do next time I'm back in Jita. Yeah, I've got all those. The Fleet Command 5 was the only one I had left. Command Burst Specialist, Fleet Command, Wing Command, Shield Command, Mining Foreman, Mining Director, and Leadership. All of those are maxed out. Fleet Command was the last one, and it was like, I think it was 50 days to get it to level 5, which I just completed. So but yeah, but it's all good. I'll get that implant. That was not the one Blossom had sold me. Yep. So that'll fix it up. That'll fix it up. Then I'll be like Jackson and Scimitar. Wow, wow. All right. All right. Now I cleaned out Kragan and put it in the Orca. Are you running a Tech 2 industrial core? That's a good question. No. I'm only doing Tech 1 industrial core and only Tech 1 compressor. So maybe that's the other one. So yeah, I'll have to check that one out. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it's a Tech 1 core. Speaking of that, Al, I built you a Tech 1 core. Compressor's only Tech 1, okay. I built you a Tech 1 core, so maybe I'll see about inventing the Tech 2 core. Oop, Millen just got kicked. He was just commenting how this is the longest he's gone without getting disconnected. That sucks. Yeah, I have a core for you, Al. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's weird because Eve disconnects me even when I don't have problems. So, yeah, there's something else going on there. I got you a new fleet invite. No worries. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like the Fleet 5 made much of a difference, which kind of sucks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always working on some skills, right? Yeah, see, mine seems like it's been an Eve issue. But yeah, rig issue. If it's a rig issue, that should be easily solved. Just get yourself another network card. Can't play Heart of Iron 4 either. Oh, that sucks. Speaking of that, I think I'm going to build a new rig. Haven't quite decided for sure yet. But I think it's probably better to build one before I need it rather than wait till I need it and then build it, because that'll liable cause me problems. 4 steps left to sisters. There you go. 4 steps and you're done, man. You're right there at the end. Next one will be built myself. Yeah, I build all mine myself. Unfortunately, they never do good enough for me. Milan is from Italy, I believe. Milan. Sorry, I always pronounce his name wrong. It's Milan. I'm sorry, Milan. I said I was going to do better with that, and then I didn't. They were asking in the Corp channel where you're from. I said I thought you were from Italy. And then that's when I remembered that I was pronouncing your name incorrectly. No, Belgium. Belgium. Sorry. Sorry, I insulted him. Milan. Like the city in Italy. Yep, I've never been to Belgium either. Though I've heard nothing but good things. We talking waffles again? We are probably talking waffles again, though. I've heard other good things about it too, so. Jackson's gone, so we can talk about waffles now without making him hungry. Without making him hungry. I lost the bet. I'm good with pancakes, French toast, or waffles. It's funny. Sorry, I started that thought and then wanted to chew up what was in my mouth. Yeah, we talked about this before, where I don't do sauces. I don't do ketchup. I don't do mustard. I'm not a big barbecue sauce fan, you know. I don't do salad dressing. I eat my salad raw, just like I like my salad like I like my women, naked. But the one sauce I will do is syrup. I will put syrup on everything, especially maple syrup. Pure maple syrup from Canada, best. Waffles, pancakes, sausage, hash browns, French toast, doesn't matter. I put syrup on everything. I think if I could get away with it, I'd put syrup on my cornflakes. But that would be frowned upon. Probably get me thrown out of the restaurant. So I guess I'm not completely against all sauces. Maybe just non-sweet sauces. Yeah, syrup 4. There you go. There you go. Syrup IV. Yeah, syrup on everything. Syrup. I love syrup on hash browns. Oh. I only do einkorn flour, so make them from scratch with pure maple syrup. Oh, that sounds good. Ow, that sounds good. Yeah, pure maple syrup from Canada. Oh my goodness. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I know somebody in here said they were from Canada, so I don't want to offend them. Because besides them, besides them. Oh, cool. My son is named Patrick. So are you named after a stupid starfish too? Yeah. Honestly, I don't know where the Patrick, like I said, Patrick Stewart. That's where it came from. So, syrup is ancestral crack. Our forebears got the calories, survived better before we started getting diseases of excess. Yeah. Well, when you took it right from the tree and put it on there. So, Eric the Red. There you go. I like that. Yeah, when you took it right from the tree and put it on there, it was all pure. So, there was no problem. It wasn't until we started deciding we should add stuff to it that it got, we started screwing it up. Which is usually what happens. The more we mess with something. Eric the Red. I like it. I like it. Slowly tears you apart. Yeah, maybe we'll finish this belt. And then we'll call it. Grandioso. I like it. Strong name. There you go. Patrick Stewart. I like it. I like it. Yeah, it was funny. After Star Trek Next Generation was over, I actually started watching him in several other things. He's got one called Blunt Talk, which is really rough. A lot of swearing, a lot of drugs, but he's hysterical in it. He is just so funny. And honestly, I think it was done before Star Trek The Next Generation. I'm not positive. I've never checked the actual dates to see where it falls, but it might have been during the same time. But if you guys get a chance to see it, super funny. Super funny. And of course, he was in the original Dune. Though he had a really serious part in that. Yeah, the Blunt Talk one was probably the most controversial one I saw. He's hysterical. I think like the very first episode, he's caught with a transgendered prostitute. I think so. He's a talk show host, and he gets arrested with a transgendered prostitute. Hysterical. Just hysterical. Like I said, it crosses a lot of boundaries, but yeah, it was like from a Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard to Blunt Talk, which his name is something Blunt. Something Blunt. Blunt's his last name. Walter Blunt. Talk show host, Walter Blunt. And yeah, if you guys get a chance to see it, it's hysterical. Definitely shows his diversity. Definitely showed his diversity. Definitely showed his diversity. So yeah. Now that I've been loving you so long. Oh, see, thank God Jackson's gone because he's not a Michael Bolton fan. Oh, Michael Bolton. And he's remade, I think, songs from everybody. And ironically made more money by remaking them than the original people did, which I think is wrong. Wrong on so many levels. But in our society, making money is kind of the the epic arc that everybody strives for. So you should check out Extras episode with him in it. Extras? I'll check that one out. Yeah, it's amazing how many things. You know, he's in X-Men, which I had always seen, but Extras. I'll check that out. Yeah, I always enjoy seeing him and stuff. He's really diverse. But yeah, it's funny. The Jean-Luc Picard versus the Walter Blunt is like night and day. He's a druggie, alcoholic, prostituting talk show host. And it's like, oh, I have never laughed so hard as those ones. So the only one that I enjoyed more than that, and he's not in it, is when I saw Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you guys haven't seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, if you're Seinfeld fans, the guy who created Seinfeld, Larry David, created another one called Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is a story of his life. And those are hysterical because this guy's got to be the dumbest guy in the world. Some of the things he's done. And, but I have never laughed so hard as I did with Curb Your Enthusiasm. And Green Room movie. I never saw that one either. Green Room. I'll check it out. Another crash. Sorry, Milan. That sucks. Definitely need to get that fixed. Have you thought about just replacing your network card to see if that would help? It's probably an onboard network. But there is a way to disable the onboard network and add an external card. That might buy you some time. Network cards usually aren't that bad. Yeah, if it's always constantly disconnecting, that sounds like network. The network card is having issues. Either having trouble negotiating or... Picking at my fingers again. I had to do that when my internal NIC defaulted to 10. Yep, and that'll do it too. If it defaults to 10 megabits per second, that'll definitely cause disconnect issues. Yep, and that's a good point, Booga. Yeah, sometimes those internal NICs, they tend to not be the best ones. Oh, sitting here and miners are both shut off. Sucks. Oh yeah, we're almost done. Yeah, so we'll finish this guy up. And then we'll call it a night. That'll put us a little early. Actually, not really. We'll probably finish up here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, so. Appreciate you guys. I haven't done my PI for several days. I need to get that one. NIC is a network interface card. NIC, network interface card. It's whoever is controlling your network connection. And so. And most times, nowadays, the motherboard has a built-in network interface. And so yeah, so and it might be it's trying to pull too much bandwidth, and that's why it's shutting off. But yeah, if it has any kind of a problem with it, that would cause disconnects. And that would most likely be where the problem would be with that. There's usually a jumper on the motherboard. If you have an internal, if you have a onboard one, there's a jumper that you can set that will disable the onboard, and then you can buy a network card and plug it in. And so screens with text, and Eve always happens when I open chat or screens with text. Yeah, update the drivers could help as well, and that one's just a matter of you going into your Windows configuration. If you're doing Windows, I don't know if you're done in Windows or that, but yeah, and telling it to check for new drivers. But yeah, most likely the network card is having problems. So fresh reinstall of Windows several weeks ago, and that didn't solve it. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it sounds like it's probably hardware related. So yeah, the motherboard also has BIOS on it, and so you can check your motherboard manufacturing website and check what version of BIOS you have versus what version they recommend or they're up to. And that could help as well. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, BIOS is a little bit more tricky, but and they're actually pretty good. If you do the motherboard one, it'll be one that you'll do during a boot. And so yeah, so that's not too bad. Where are you at with skills or training implants? I have some extras. So my guy, are you talking to me, Al, or are you talking to one of those guys? Nowadays, you could just add it, and that's what I would do, is I would probably just add a new network card. Like I said, I think you might have to disable the onboard one. But yeah, I would just add a new network card because, like as drachenhort said, they don't cost very much. And so PC noob, I don't touch those things. I don't know about it. You could actually take it. I don't know what you got in Belgium, but if you have any kind of a computer shop, you could buy the network card from them and ask them to install it for you, and then just show you where to plug the network cable in. The network cable is what we call an RJ45. It's got the one that clicks in. When you plug it in, it clicks because it's got a clip that catches. But yeah, I build them. Yeah, I build them as custom order as well. Shikari. Sounds like we've done a lot of similar things. But yeah, I usually just build them for family and friends. I don't build them as I don't charge people. So, but yeah, the Ethernet cable. Yep. Usually has what we call an RJ45 connector, and that's the one where it clicks in. Yeah, you got to make sure, and that's what I would do if you take it to my brother is a complete PC noob, and I built one for him, and I had to label everything so he knew where to plug what. But yeah, he has a computer store near him. Now he's in America. But yeah, if you have a computer store near you that does that kind of work, you can ask them for what they would charge you for a network card. And have them just put in a network card to see if that makes a difference. That'll probably solve your problem. And have them show you where to plug the network cable in, the Ethernet cable, once you get home. But they'll install it for you and take care of all that. I don't know about Belgium. I'm not familiar with Belgium if they have those kind of shops, but that would definitely be a solution. And that's a fairly cheap solution. So the network card shouldn't cost you very much. I know with mine, Drachenhort, I always had to disable the onboard because it always wanted to use the onboard. But you're right. I guess if you just plug it into the right one, it shouldn't matter. But I think mine, and that might have been in the old days, it would conflict, but I don't know if you do. You could check in there and see what you have, but they could tell you that as well. Like I said, most of them, it's all on the motherboard now. So what you would do is you would buy a separate network card, which, like I said, is not very expensive, and then plug that in just to see if that solves your problem. It probably will. And then you can kind of go from there to say, okay, now I want to upgrade and figure out what you want. At least buy you some time. Especially if it doesn't cost very much. And so. But yeah. Wherever your internet, whatever your internet cable plugs into, that's going to be your network connection. And so if it's along the bottom, and that's if you have a tower, it's a little different. But if it's the same place as all the other plugs, your mouse and your USBs and all that kind of stuff, it's probably on board. If it's perpendicular to it, then it's probably going to be a separate card. So, but yeah, almost everything's got it built into the motherboard. Yep. But yeah, a nice cheap card would not be expensive, and that would definitely let you know if that's the problem. More than likely, that's the problem. So, yeah, that's true though. Could be a bad cable. Could be a bad cable. Good one, Qualm. Thanks for being here, Qualm. By the way, but yeah, it could be a bad cable. And so that's it too. Could be a bad cable. And so you could always switch out the cable that your internet connects with. In case it, sometimes they get water in them or something else. And sometimes that causes some problems. That's another kind of cheap solution to try. Kind of rule stuff out one at a time to see. You can never have too many cables, so. We already changed our feeder, okay? So it's probably already changed the cable, okay. Yeah, and if that didn't solve it, then it's probably the hardware. And it's not uncommon for the network card, the network connection on the motherboard to go bad. PCU, what's it called? Yeah, so the PCU, yeah, the central processing unit, the CPU. Computer is connected directly to a router. Check that there's an update for the router. That could be too. Yep. The one that, yeah. So that's the power supply, PSU. Yeah. So the power supply, and that wouldn't affect your network. If there was a problem with the power supply, then you wouldn't have anything working. So yep. Yeah, power supply unit, PSU. And that just provides power and it levels the power to the PC to make sure it doesn't get any fluctuations that could cause problems for the other devices. So yeah. Yeah, and I wouldn't expect that to solve any network connections, so. But yeah, if the PC's only 2 years old, it shouldn't really be having that many problems. Yeah, RAM wouldn't affect it either. You would notice issues with RAM on a lot of other things before you would notice it with the network. So the RAM would affect things with the monitor and a lot of other things prior to it affecting the network. Network is pretty far down on that. Not much interacts with the network other than the network card. So yeah, most likely it's going to be the network card. Yes, it would. Yeah, and in RAM, you would notice it with all kinds of things. If you're trying to run Excel, or you'd notice it with kind of graphic issues and things of that nature. RAM's pretty easy to identify. Yeah, so I don't think it's the RAM. I'm most likely it's your network card. Or as some of these guys, Qualm mentioned, it could be the cable. So you have a cable that goes from your PC to your router, where your internet comes in. And so, yeah, I don't think his system's crashing. He's just disconnecting. He's losing the network. But that maybe not. If it is, is it completely shutting off, Milan, or because if it's completely shutting off, then Shikari's right. It could be a RAM problem. But yeah, I think the cable's probably your cheapest one. If you change the cable that connects to your computer for the internet, that will at least rule that out. And then you can also check your router. The router might have an update that it needs, so no heat problem. But yeah, it does completely restart. Okay. So yeah, if it's completely restarting, then it could be something else. Because that sounds like it's probably some kind of a short in there that's causing it to restart. Compressed air is kind of a cheap one. But yeah, if it's a complete system crash, then yes, it could be RAM. Because if it's hitting, it may only hit the bad spot on the memory sticks every once in a while, and when it hits that is when it says, "Oh crap," and shuts down. Okay. Yeah, it could be RAM. And I don't know how many, most times, mine's got 4 different RAM sticks. Unfortunately, mine is one where you have to have them in pairs. So, but you can kind of, I've had problems with RAM sticks before. You can take a pair out and see if you still have the same problem. Run it with lower memory for a while. But hard drive could also do it. Yep, if it's hitting a bad sector of the hard drive and it can't write to it. Normally that'll just give you some kind of an error. It probably wouldn't shut completely down unless it's written some of the operating system on that spot, which is possible. Yeah, that's a problem with the computers. It could be any number of things. And if it is completely shutting down, then yes, that's a different issue than what I was originally thinking. So, like in Eve, I get a message that the system developed an error and I can now restart. Yeah, so like when you just had your last one, actually it doesn't seem like it's completely shut down because you were still in Twitch. But yeah, the game froze. Okay, yeah. So have you reinstalled Eve by any chance? Because one of the things that I've been meaning to do, and I haven't got around to it, I may do it this weekend, is my Eve is acting up with a couple different things. And so I plan on uninstalling Eve and reinstalling it, which unfortunately takes a while. And sometimes that clears up that kind of stuff. You said you had other games that it also wouldn't work with, so most likely it's not an Eve problem then. But it could be, like you said, it could be a memory problem where maybe Eve is pushing it to that other one. Yeah. Yeah, did checking files on stream. Okay, Steam. Yep. Computer overclocked. Is there an overclocked option in BIOS? Yep. I usually verify Eve files and remove excess, and it's okay. Yeah, I got to try that, Booga, because that might be better than reinstalling. Yeah, because mine, for some reason, mine gives me a bunch of issues connecting now. Even though I'm multi-boxing, one of them will connect fine and the other one won't. They're using the same port. Never had that problem before, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that is, but yeah, most times, unless you specifically overclock it, it's probably not overclocked, but I mean, it could be, depending on who built it for them. Ads are getting ready to start. We got to figure out who we're going to raid. But yeah, unfortunately, Milan, there's a ton of possibilities. I apologize. That's always a pain. Troubleshooting is the key point. But ironically, that's kind of what I love about it. So I always enjoy troubleshooting the problems. All right, Ghosty's out there. Some yahoo named Bondar JR. What's up with that? Yeah, maybe we'll raid Ghosty. We haven't raided Ghosty in a while. I've never overcome. I have no intelligence of it. Yeah. Omega's on? I didn't see Omega on. Yeah, I don't see Omega on. Oh, he's just chatting. Yeah, we could go ahead and raid Omega. I just was checking the Eve people. Yeah, he's just been on 30 minutes. So yeah, let's go get Omega. Excellent. Good call, Scimitar. He's just chatting. That's why. Yeah. Total 12 characters. Lego, way to go. All right, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I will not be on tomorrow. We're going to run to... actually, no, that's not true. Tomorrow's Wednesday. So, yes, I will be on tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, I won't be on. So, yes, I will be on tomorrow. So yes, so 24 hours from now, 20 hours from now, I'll be back. And we'll do some more EVE Online. So... you guys have a great day, night, whatever it is for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for fleeting. Thanks for everything. Appreciate everybody. Thanks to Jackson, who is MIA at the moment. And thanks to him for the boost. And I appreciate all you guys being here. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, there could be a lot of stuff in there. So, yeah. No problem. No problem. Appreciate you guys being here. Stelmatic, we'll see you again, and we'll get you skilled up. We'll get you into a venture, and then we'll also get you up to a retriever or a coveter if you want, when you got the skills for those. So, unfortunately, they require Omega. So, but yeah, let us know. We'll be happy to help you out with that. Jerry Can, always a pleasure. And I'm gonna go ahead and raid Omega. All right. And you guys are all good, all good. No, we're glad to have you. Everybody's welcome. Glad to have you guys along. Like I said, we do this every Monday night. And it is the one stream I try to never cancel. Unfortunately, sometimes the electricity gets in the way, but it is the one I try my damnedest to never cancel. So yeah, it is the one that usually we're pretty good. We're usually pretty good, so... but yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. I will not be on for Wednesday night, but I will be on tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night. So, yep. So I will be on tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And you guys have a great day, night, whatever it is for you. And I will see you tomorrow.